Welcome back to another episode of the Spectator Mode Podcast. I am your host, Keith Mitchell, and yes, I am a little darker because I've been out in the sun. Holy crap. I'm sure you noticed because I definitely noticed, and so did my wife. In the middle is my buddy there, Scott.
Howdy.
And we've got Baron from LV1 Gaming here again, joining us with the shenanigans.
What up? And yes, I was outside cutting big, thick branches off the orange tree because it was destroying a wall.
She keeps saying, when you go outside, use sunscreen. I'm like, I don't need sunscreen. I'm black.
Yes, you need sunscreen. 1,000%.
I am so wrong. I was so wrong. Oh, I hope I go back to my normal color after a while. Jeez. God. Yeah, but before we get started, I want to thank each and every person who checks the Outerhaven podcast, or podcast. We used to call it the Spectator Mode Podcast here on YouTube, also on various places we watch or hear the show, also on Amazon Podcast, Apple Podcast. Please rate us more on there. It's very helpful. And everywhere else you hear our podcast, it's very helpful for you to let us know if you like the show, what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, so we can cater the show for you. Because as much as we love talking about games, this will be honest, we'll be in Discord talking about games. And, we're doing this because we like the interface with you. Talk with us. Tell us how bad we suck. Tell us that my Elden Ring takes are bad, or, that Scott likes too many RPGs. Just keep it up. We love it. All right. Thanks. That said, before every show, we like to talk about the games that we have played. Baron, you're the guest. Jump on in. What you got?
All right. So I've been legitimately running through my backlog, and I finally finished the Outer Worlds, and then I finished Mafia 3.
He's hyped for the new Mafia, aren't you?
Yes. I keep forgetting how great how good Hangar 13 is at painting a crime story. Like, they tell a dang good. Oh man, it feels like you're watching one of the best Mafia movies ever. And I just love that it doesn't always end well. Like, they show like crime doesn't necessarily pay. And they show the rise and fall. They hit all the beats. So good on them.
That's it?
Well, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, so you got the gear on. I've been running my ROG Ally through its paces. Like, I really have really like, I just installed Baldur's Gate 3 on it.
This hat is actually very special to me because I got this at one of the PAX events after we had the whole COVID nonsense going on. The gentleman Chris Barr, who I've been talking to a lot on Twitter, I actually finally met him at PAX East, and he worked for the company at the time. They let him go, actually, which really sucked. He was a really cool dude. He gave me a hat, and I was like, "No, I want the red one." He was like, "All right, here you go." The red one. I don't wear it outside for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
I wear it outside. Yeah, but I really do love this hat. Yeah, I love this hat. And since you're playing your ROG Ally, I would definitely recommend you install Basilite on it.
Okay, I don't know what that is, but
Basilite is a Steam OS clone that you can install on your ROG Ally, Legion Go, and it's basically Steam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not hard to install. You can either go by installing it complete on your hard drive. Did you upgrade your hard drive, or did you leave it?
I left it.
Okay. So some people like to do a dual install with Windows and Basilite. Doesn't make a difference. If you don't plan on playing like Game Pass or anything on it, then you may not care. But if you're just all about the Steam OS ecosystem, Basilite is amazing. It's just like you have an upgraded Steam Deck. Literally, that's all it is.
Okay.
You have to hibernate and everything on your ROG Ally. It's so good.
I knew I came to the right place. I knew I was dealing with the right
folks. You got to do it. Install. There's like 100 different videos on YouTube on how to install it. Definitely do it. We can talk about that after the show. Yeah, man. I just did that on my ROG Ally X, and it's been a problem in the bedroom.
It's been a problem in the bedroom. Hey, but honestly, that's the only thing I've been gaming on. I haven't touched my PC, haven't touched my console. Like, that's all. I beat Outer Worlds on it. I was running through, because of course, I only owned, well, I finally installed the Steam version of the Outer Worlds, but I played it all the way through on Game Pass, so I streamed it through my ROG. But I've been playing native Mafia 3, and then I even started my Asthma Chronicles. That was something I've been really wanting to play because I really liked what was it? The game. I can't believe I blinked on the game. The game with the duck, Mutant Eden Zero or Mutant Zero.
I have no idea.
It was an XCOM-esque game, but except the people, you had like a mutant duck and a boar. Like it was like animals. It was dope. But yeah, it was. I think it's the same people who made Miasma Chronicles. So
all right. I'm glad you're enjoying ROG Ally. I wish a lot more people would realize that mobile gaming, handheld gaming, is legit.
it's the future.
I have been playing a lot of games on it as well, especially a couple games that I'm reviewing or checking out. Since I can talk about Plucky Squire now, I played that on the ROG Ally, and
Nice.
they said specifically, "Don't play this on the Steam Deck."
Don't
and
do
I
it
was
on
like,
handhelds. Okay.
I'm going to do it, and it works just fine. So I don't know why they were worried, but it works.
They
just
all
fine.
pinged you. We got one.
Like, hey, like, I'm about
It's a
to
red
people,
flag.
I'm gonna tell you what it is because you know people are gonna be like, so you previewed the game. Did you play it on the ROG Ally? Did you do it on the Steam Deck? Did you? Yeah, we did. Relax, calm down.
I have to ask. So, is Evo Land and Evo Land 2 better than Plucky Squire? Or you don't even know what I'm talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Please, next time you get a chance, check out Evo Land and Evo Land 2. It is literally the DNA, the core of everything that
Oh
makes
no,
Plucky Squire.
Plucky Squire kills
what
this. I'm looking at it right now. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. All right.
You can't you cannot get past the entire point, the visuals of this game takes place. Most of the game takes place on a storybook. It's like, wow. The narration, I'll check it out because that's not fair for me to say, hey, it's
yeah, because you sound like a cheap date. All I got to do is give you a book. No,
I'm not saying I'm not easy, but you give me something, I'm good. I mean, it's been working for 22, almost 23 years, so I guess. All right. What about you, Scott? What have you been playing?
Alrighty, so I did check out the Final Fantasy 16 demo on Steam.
Did it
I
suck?
wanted to see how it doesn't suck, but I definitely think my laptop needs to be a little better now. So most of the game itself was fine, but some of the boss fights would stutter. But that's also because, for those of you who know Final Fantasy 16, those boss fights go really hard. Not in terms of difficulty, but in terms of visuals and effects. And just like the actual like atmosphere of the game is just so much more big and grandiose. And so my laptop stuttered a lot on some of the fights between Ifrit and the Phoenix.
Oh.
But I did enjoy like just the normal fights. Like the normal battles were usually fine. I'd run at like 60 frames per second pretty frequently. So I didn't want to go any farther than 60 frames per second on my laptop just because I didn't know how much to trust like the smaller 3060 GPU compared to the bigger one. But I think it was fine. I don't know if I'd say it was better than how Final Fantasy VII Rebirth or Remake was optimized on the Steam. I'll have to probably see when they actually get everything patched for the full release. But I think the demo is just all right in terms of its port and optimization. I heard a lot from Twitter of people going like, yeah, this is the best thing. This is the best PC port of Final Fantasy 16. It's just like, it's about average, honestly.
It seems from your experience, everybody has a different experience.
It definitely depends on PC builds. So, I mean, that's kind of how it goes with PC ports. Some people can brute force the not as optimized PC games on their really heavy, like 4090 GPUs and everything, so it doesn't feel as, I don't know, badly optimized when they like try to run Remake, because it's like, oh well, it's not very optimized, this and this and this. It's like, well, I mean, that's just because you got a CPU and a GPU that's going to brute force everything. Of course it doesn't look like there's a problem. You're getting 200 frames per second, doesn't matter.
yeah
I wish.
Yeah, so I mean, that was just a fun thing to note that I tried. It only took me about an hour and a half to finish it. But that's just because I already knew how everything works in the demo. I mean, I've played the full game on PlayStation 5, so... It was nice, though, because I don't have to remember having to... When I got far enough in Final Fantasy 16 on the PS5, I had to have basically my air conditioner on max and a fan, like, on top of the PS5 fan. Because there's how much that game will destroy... Well, it doesn't really destroy, but how much the game just overheats your PlayStation. Because of how much stuff is going on.
So, did your laptop sound like a PlayStation 4 Pro? That was the main reason
it was
I got
a
rid of
little
the
louder
I
than
could not.
most
I was like,
games
no.
when I try on it.
I'm very sensitive to certain noises, and that every time I play, it was like, nope.
Yeah,
gone.
Jet engine.
It's gone.
That's why I never got the Pro. I stuck with. I mean, granted, I was fine just sticking with the base PS4 most of the time of the PS4's lifespan. And I'm probably going to do the same with the PS5. I'm going to just stick with the base PS5 model until the PS6 comes out.
Might as well.
At this point.
Sure, the PS5 Pro might run games a little better, but at the same time, it's just a little better. Is it really going to be worth the extra
How long
money?
do you think? How long do you think before they start talking 6? How many years?
Probably 2
1
years
year after,
my guess. Yeah, like a year after next year. So like 2026 is when we're probably going to get more discussions about it, probably.
Yeah,
here's the PlayStation 5 Pro. All right, so let's talk about PlayStation.
Let's talk about the PlayStation 6 now.
Yeah. You see that empty space in your PS5 Pro? That's where the new.
Like, we got you, suckers. We're going to talk about the 6 because if you brought the 5 Pro, you're a sucker. Here's the 6. I hate that so much. Everybody, you're not suckers. It's just the way the corporate system works.
Tell the truth, shame the devil.
I feel you, because
how many people have bought so many Nintendo Switches because of all the different versions they make of that?
I am so proud of myself. I only have one
sitting back here in the box still. I have not opened it. Like,
I've been sticking with the base Switch, and I honestly probably should have switched it for the 2nd generation Switch. But I'm too stubborn to be like, well, I'm sticking with the base Switch because I bought the base Switch.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like the moment I go out and buy it,
for some money though,
is
what you can do with it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, you can do some things with it that you can't do.
Yeah, so I played through Final Fantasy 16 demo. I don't want to go too distracted on the games we've played because otherwise, like, we stay here all over talking about the PS6. But
are they all RPGs?
Yeah, all Final Fantasy games are RPGs.
Yeah.
Okay, so the other game that I played that was actually was actually kind of surprising to me was Fairy Tail Dungeons. So Fairy Tail Dungeons, for those who don't know, Kodansha is giving out the Fairy Tail IP to a bunch of indie devs to make Fairy Tail games, which honestly score. That would be awesome to get more licensed properties in indie devs' hands, especially with how much passion you see from indie developers. But anyway, so Fairy Tail Dungeons is deck builder roguelike. And so it's all about, well, all the wizards in Fairy Tail have lost their powers, but they're trying to figure out how this big dragon deals, and he's underneath all these dungeons. And you have to get through each level of the dungeon with getting new cards that activate your magic abilities, that you basically can make your decks based on the character that you choose. The further you get into the dungeon, which is actually really cool, is you can actually start getting multiple characters in your party. You start with one character, whether it be like Natsu, Lucy, Gray, and then once you get to a certain section in the dungeon, you can start having 2 characters in your party. And then you can also unlock new characters in the game, like Urza and Wendy will show up. And when you get to even further place, you get a 3-person party. And it just keeps going and going. I think 3 might actually be the max. I got to the end of the game, but there's like a whole post-game dungeon under that you can basically get more skills, more cards, and look more into like the actual deck building instances, which is really cool that they added like a post-game option. But the game itself, if you are, I guess, skilled in deck builders, you probably will finish it in like 2 hours because you can just easily go through all of it with like the 3 or 4 characters that you want to use in your party. And then you can spend extra time in the post-game stuff if you want to just challenge yourself. But if you're someone who's new to deck builders, this might take more time, but it's going to be fun to just understand the mechanics of the game and how basically deck builders work. Because in terms of deck building itself, it's not very, like, I'd say special. But in terms of it actually utilizing more of a party-based system than in just like a single deck building system, you have to actually focus on what character you want as a DPS, what character you want to focus on as, say, like a tank, what character do you want to focus on as a healer, what character you want to focus on as like a mix, because there are some characters you can mix as like a DPS or tank, or a DPS and support, or there's some that are just support healers that are just full on heal everything, shield everything, do this everything, which is helpful except for when you are trying to get them through the first dungeon, because you're just doing nothing but really small attacks, but you're just making yourself have like 30 or 40 armor, where you just basically don't get hurt, but you can't do any damage. You're just like, this is going to take forever. But once you actually get them in your party, it's amazing, because then you're just like, oh, you don't have to worry about healing anybody. You're just, everybody has 40 armor all the time. Yeah, so Fairy Tail Dungeons is pretty solid. I think the only criticism I had of the game itself is that the skills were not randomized, but the skills themselves would give you on like a book that you had to unlock certain things to get to other skills. But the problem is you have such a limited amount of currency. You sometimes have to unlock things that aren't going to be helpful to get that helpful one that you want. And so it's just like one of those, do I want to get 3 kind of helpful ones, or one that won't do me any good, but the one after that is going to basically make my deck godlike? But it's annoying that you have to go through that kind of BR, because I'd rather just be able to customize the way I want everything, especially in like a deck builder, where it's just like, I want to focus this deck specifically on damage. I don't want to get the freaking tank help. That won't help me in at all. Also, a criticism I have of the game, and I'm thinking back on it, though, is that if you don't know anything about Fairy Tail, you will still have no idea what Fairy Tail is when you play this game. They kind of just expect you to know, oh, this is the Fairy Tail Guild, this is the character, this is their specialty. Okay, and who are they? Did you watch the show? No? Can't tell you then.
Oh, man. Indie devs.
I haven't watched that show in, quite some time.
It's been a very long time.
Very long time.
I think it's funny because it just reminds me of when I was talking to people with the Gust game of Fairy Tail, like that came out like 4 years ago, and it's just like, oh, what did you like about the Fairy Tail game? Oh, the gameplay is great, the animations are great. If you didn't play Fairy Tail, would you like this game? No, because you had no idea what's going on. They start you in the middle of at the end of an arc to then start another arc, and then they do like half of the arc, and then they just end it on a cliffhanger, and it's just like, nobody wants to play this game unless they know Fairy Tail, because if someone has actually just played this for the first time to understand Fairy Tail, they're going to be so confused.
And that's terrible. You shouldn't release a game or a movie or any kind of media to go, okay, so you need to have watched the first 15 movies or played the first couple of games or watch these shows to actually know what it is you're about to jump into.
Well, maybe I'm going to talk from the other end of it. Maybe hitting that targeted market is the best way to go, because let's just think another anime RPG. Like, it took me a second to realize that Scott was talking about the Fairy Tail, the anime. Like, I was like, oh man, in my head I was like, dang, that would be a pretty cool game where all the Fairy Tail characters lose their abilities and they got to get it all back. And I was like, oh no, he's talking about the like actual wizard from the anime. But hitting that targeted market, man. What did the people who made Helldivers say? They were like, no, we made a game for a very specific group of people. Like,
sure, you guys did.
It's a game, like Fairy Tail is such a weird IP because it is a game that I wish had more games, because Fairy Tail is actually popular.
Which is weird, right?
But it has like hardly anything video game wise. Like even freaking 7 Deadly Sins has its own game that goes over the story, but Fairy Tail doesn't.
You would think they would have almost like a MMO style one, like Sword Art Online. Like you would, or like
Sword Art Online has so many freaking games. I swear.
Yeah, what is it, like 5 or 6? And they're all huge. Yeah,
and they get annual releases, and it's just like, how are you having annual releases of like 60-hour RPGs?
Because people love Sword Art Online. That's not kid yourself.
They do. They probably make.
I am a huge fan. I got the OG Kirito and Asuna Funkos and everything.
I went through
I played every single Sword Art Online game, and I'm still planning to play the one that comes out this year.
Just watching the show, and then it got to the end, and I was like, oh, the new anime is not coming out for another, year or so. Yeah. And this was back in, 2015? When PlayStation finished?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, all right. Well, eventually, I get.
What is it? War of the Underworld now? Is
No,
that
that's
what's
what it
going
was.
They finished the War of
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah.
Underworld
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I don't remember where they're gonna head from here now. I think there's something else in the light novel that hasn't been touched on.
So they go back eventually.
They're probably gonna go back to the Progressive series, yeah, because they did the movie with Asuna. So
Well, the arc,
Yeah.
I was reading up on it. So eventually something happens, all the MMOs get merged. They go back
Yeah.
to the underworld, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, so when
Okay.
you look into the light novel, the entire plot line is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the anime, I think, does the best that it can with its material in some instances. In other instances, like I'd say the first like few episodes of SAO where it's doing like the first like 20 floors. It's
Yeah.
just like, and then everybody died, and it's just like, wait, what happened?
Yeah, like how?
That's why I like progressives. Like it gives you a little.
Yeah, I
little-
love like them going back to do the progressive series because it's just like there's so much they just skipped.
Now
Yeah.
give us a new Gale gun. Thank you.
Oh, the
Ooh,
Gelgun, yeah, the
Gelgun.
Gelgun online
Ooh,
stuff is great. The
that
alternate
was
story
so
anime is
badass.
fantastic.
But you know what, Scott?
Oh.
I am sorry. Let's get back to what you were playing.
Okay.
See,
Yeah, we
this
went-
is what
yeah,
happens when
yeah.
you get geeks and nerds on a podcast.
Seriously. So, anyways, after Fairy Tale Dungeons, which I do have the review of that up, another game that I played is called Mika and the Witch's Mountain. I'm
Ooh,
just going to
okay.
explain this extremely simply. If you like Kiki's Delivery Service, you want to play Kiki's Delivery Service, this is Kiki's Delivery Service in a video game.
Okay.
Mika and the Witch's Mountain. That's it. Like that's basically what it is. That's all it is you're a witch who has the power to fly and delivers packages around the town. And it's pretty good, honestly. I also played another witch game that's called Witch Spring R. That's been on Steam for about a year, but it's now going to consoles. So I got to review the console version of that on the PlayStation 5, and honestly, a lot, like, really solid. Like, I was not sure what to expect, because I was thinking it was going to be, like, an Atelier type game, because it's, like, there's crafting, there's alchemy, there's witch, but it was a lot more entertaining than I was expecting.
He said
like,
crafting.
Yeah, there's crafting.
Oh, God, I forgot
don't
about
get your
this.
hopes
Baron
up.
loves
Crafting
crafting.
itself is
Guy,
not nearly as
you
intricate as the
ever meet
Atelier
Baron,
games.
He loves crafting games.
Do you know that I joined Final Fantasy 14 with no other reason than to craft? I got into a guild and they opened up the troves of stuff they had just for me because I got so far in crafting and I hadn't even left what is it? A Realm Reborn. Like I haven't even left. Like,
you haven't reached the DLC.
and they're like, bro, the crafting gets so much better. You should just move on. I was like, no. Like if I would play, what is that damn game? Elder Scrolls Online more if it had Final Fantasy 14's crafting system.
So once you play Final Fantasy 14 on your ROG Ally.
No, I'm not going to do that to myself because there has to be a line somewhere in the sand.
The line is your wife. You tell the wife to tell you, look, when there's enough, take it from me.
Like, but you got, like, this is the same reason I stopped playing Destiny, because there has to be a line in the sand. There are other games to play. Yeah. And this is what, and I really had to like force myself to uninstall. I was like, no more.
You mean other than the fact that the game wasn't fun anymore?
Well, I put it this way. I got a lot of time out of it and I never did one raid.
Oh, dang.
That's what I hated about the game. I couldn't get in any raids. It really pissed me off so much.
6 hours with an incomplete raid, and I was like, never again. I was like, never again. I will never spend this much time.
But wait, did you ever play Warcraft?
But I never raided, and I had all the fun in the world. Like, I don't need to raid to have fun. Like, give me an economy, give me a little bit of crafting, give me a PvP that I'm going to get thrashed in, but I can grab loot. Like, I was a loot goblin in, what was that, Diablo 2? Where you get to run out into the field and like as they're fighting and drop all their loot, you can go and grab it and run back. Like, oh, I was horrible.
So it sounds like Baron is ready to play Path of Exile too, which we'll be talking about later on.
Okay, but yeah, so Witch Spring R, the crafting system isn't all that robust, but the fun thing about it is the spells and your attacks are crafted. So you have to craft your attacks, you have to craft your spells. But once you craft like a spell, you have it permanently. You can just add it to your, basically your attack menu. So that it's really cool in that sense. I just think the entire premise of the game is absolutely hilarious. The whole like gods and humans have went to battle, then eventually like demigods and like demons attacked, and eventually demigods and demons then basically procreated to create witches. And because of that, everybody is against witches. Nobody likes this kind of abominations, even though like they're just normal people, basically, at the power of magic. But it's just kind of funny that one of the witches, the witch that you play as, which her name is Pieberry, she was named after pie and strawberry. Because her, I guess, quote unquote, mom liked strawberry pies and fed her strawberry pies, and basically that's why her name is Pieberry. She has a pie that's strawberry in the beginning of the game, and it makes that her entire life mission to find the maker of this pie to have more pie. And it's just funny because she kind of like gets herself involved in so many things just for the sake of finding this pie maker and getting this pie.
The samurai who smells of sunflowers.
That's it right there. Yo.
That's all I heard. All of that happened because they're looking for a samurai who smells of sunflowers.
The ending of that series was such a letdown.
But it was very not Watanabe. Was it Watanabe? I'm butchering. Let me stop. Yep.
Yeah, so okay, I have two other games to talk about. One is just, I mean, it's more of just one I've been playing because I've been trying to have my PS3 time during some of my loading stuff, but I'm going back to play the original Hyperdimension Neptunia on the PS3. It was like, I remember when I first tried it, I only played the Rebirth series, and I've tried the first one when I first bought it, and I wasn't the biggest fan because of how slow it was, but it turns out the reason why it was so slow was because that was an easy difficulty. When you turn up the difficulty, your damage and your opponent's damage basically both get a lot higher and stronger. If you want to have the fastest battles, you go to hard difficulty. But the problem with hard difficulties is bosses destroy you in like 2 hits. So normal is the best balance, because that way you can actually have normal fights. You do normal damage. You get dealt normal damage, but you can also get healed a lot better. So it's honestly like I would never recommend going on easy mode on this game just because of how annoying and boring it is. But on normal mode, like the battles are a lot more engaging. They actually feel like you're actually doing damage and your enemies are doing damage. So that was one thing to note that I'm glad that I did to go back to. But it also is interesting to see how much slower the original Hyperdimension Neptunia is in terms of its pacing and storytelling than the Rebirth series. Rebirth 1, I feel like they streamlined a lot of things to try to get you just into the gameplay and just go focus on the game itself, and the story was just kind of like secondary. But in the original Hyperdimension Neptunia, like the atmosphere, the story, the locations you visit are a lot more focused on. They're a lot more present where you're at. They get a lot more detail and explanation. And I actually kind of like that a little better. Because, I mean, yes, the Rebirth series has better gameplay and it has a better battle system. But when you're just playing the game, it feels like you're just like on brain dead mode. You're just like, when's the story going to be finished so I can play the game? Whereas this one, it feels a lot more interesting and to be able to engage with the world and actually understand why this stuff is happening and everything. And you get to see a lot more of like the foreshadowing of this person's about to betray you, rather than in Rebirth where the person just betrays you on the second time you meet with them. And it's just like, well, okay. So anyways, that was interesting to know. And just to know, I think the pacing is better when it's slowly delved into. And the final game that I've been playing that I'm actually very surprised with is the Visions of Mana. So I want to go into a thing that I feel like some people might understand, some people not, but I am not the biggest advocate for the Mana series. I do like the battle system. I do like the character designs. But in terms of most of the stories, when you look into a lot of the Mana games, they are very, very simple and very, very inoffensive. Like, they don't really touch anything. It's just good versus evil. Do this, sacrifice yourself, do that, do this. And to me, it doesn't feel very, I don't know, interesting. But Visions of Mana kind of flips all of that. It still has a very basic story on the surface, but it gives you lots of little details with lots of little different character interactions that kind of go like there is more going on into the world than what you see. and it makes me a lot more interested in actually going with the story, because it's like, oh, there's actually stuff going on. There's actually things that I can kind of understand that might be happening underneath the surface than just, we need to go to the mana tree. We need to sacrifice our souls to keep the world at peace. And I really like that. Because, I mean, the Mana series has always been good on combat. It's always been like, that's big. Its biggest appeal is its action RPG gameplay. Visions of Mana, that's still really good. I still think it's not as like intricate as some of like the newer action RPGs that we're getting, but it does enough that it's still really fun, really good, really engaging, and you can still kind of test the waters with different builds, even if those builds are very lukewarm because of how much access you have to different items. But instead, it's still really fun and engaging. But I liked what they're doing to the story because it still has the surface level visions of the mana stuff at the top, but it has things underneath the surface that are a lot more interesting to the person who's looking for them. So it's still very much a mana game, but it's a mana game that's growing up with its audience. And that's finally all my games I've been playing.
I'm just like, is he going to do another game? I'll keep it simple, folks. Most of the week I've been playing Elden Ring, playing with a buddy of mine, and doing more PvP than anything because people keep interrupting our game. I really hate the system. He was like, he is so frustrated with the game now that he's going to do a deposition on how much he hates the PvP in Elden Ring because of the invaders. So there's that. I mean, there's literally, I mean, I don't have a problem with it per se, but the big thing here is most people that are playing PvE with their friends are not specced out or thinking about playing PvP. And then you got this guy who's PvP decked out and it's like, I'm going to wreck your shit. And you're like, dude, I'm trying to play the game. Too bad. Don't
Can I please finish the story?
Or you they jump in like an open world boss. They jump in. It's like, but I'm fighting a boss. So I don't care. Like, dude, there's no honor. Like, you see me fighting the boss. Could you just go away? Let me fight the boss. And then if I die, then you win. And if I beat the boss, all right, let's go. But no honor in that. I've been playing the game I can't talk about because NDA and embargoes. We'll talk more about that later on. Darn. It kind of smacks you in the face. You go, wow, what else have I been playing? I've been playing Fix the Damn Website game. It's not a very fun game. It's not a fun game. But I won. I'm playing that game, and I'm playing the. Am I missing anything else to pack for PAX?
I was packing. That's why I almost missed the pod. Oh God, yeah.
Scott, don't forget my cards because those morons sent my cards to Scott. I'm like,
sent it to me.
Scott's like, did you need these? I was like,
did you want these?
Yeah, I kind of need those. So it's that thing. My wife was like, you need to pack. I'm like, I got it. And I'm like, oh crap, I am totally not ready for this. So, Baron's got that full house syndrome. I know that well. At least your kids aren't trying to kill each other.
Gotta go take care of dad things.
Maybe they are. All right. Yeah, other than Elden Ring and that game, I haven't been playing a lot of things just because I'm trying to. I've got a massive backlog. I'm pretty sure everybody who's watching the show can relate. And there's so many games coming out that I want to play, like Space Marine 2 and Path of Exile 2, I'm just gonna have to go to my backlog and go, hey guys, I am so sorry. I'm never gonna play you. I'm never gonna play you. So
it's either I can't review any games this week or
right?
Man.
So sorry, backlog.
I can't play any of my games I need to actually play.
Somebody was like, so did you play Starblade yet? I'm like, no.
I still need to do the summer DLC for that. I still
sitting there. I told you I was just supporting the company. I was just supporting the company. I'm waiting for it to come to PC.
Wait, no, I'm sorry. I got Rise of the Ronin in plastic. And Dragon's Dogma.
Me too.
I have 20 trophies in Dragon's Dogma 2, but no percentage progressed. So I don't know what that says about me.
You haven't done any story things. You've only just been walking around in circles.
I was supposed to be trying to, because somebody saw my game time in Elden Ring. He was like, why don't you just finish to get all the achievements? I was like, I really don't care about achievements. So I was like, let me get the achievements. And as I go to do the achievements, I find myself doing everything other than getting the achievements. Yeah. Anyway, let's skip on out of here. This one is not on the docket, but I'm going to add it real quick. Astrobot 2 comes out very soon. Hell to the yes. I need that game in my veins. Need it now. Need it fucking now. Sorry, I said the F word. I'm sorry. I don't care. I need that game now. Like now.
So apparently, we're supposed to be seeing that at PAX.
I saw the map with that on it, but I don't see anything.
I don't see a press email for that though.
No. Right?
No. I'm gonna be honest. You guys know I don't expect to see any emails.
Does PAX West have a press hour?
Yes.
They do have from 9
Friday.
to 10.
On Friday.
Because my original plan was to go and get in line for Path of Exile.
Capcom. Oh,
but
no.
then
I'm going to get Capcom.
Monster Hunter Wilds.
Like, all right, I'm going to go see Capcom.
Yeah.
Maybe I want to go see Astrobot first.
I'm going to tell you, I'm getting in Capcom line because I want my enamel pin.
Yeah, he wants his pin.
I want my pin. I'm going to earn the hell out of that pin.
You know what's funny?
That's the only time I'm going to be able to do it.
You know what's so funny? We get there, right? And everybody who's there for press and content is going to be in that line.
Yeah.
Be in that line or probably
just like the Dunkin' Donuts line. Like that's what happened last time. Everybody got in line for Dunkin' early just to get all the free stuff that my kids wear like crazy now. Hopefully they're there again because I got like $50 in freaking Dunkin' gift cards. Like it was cool.
I don't know, man. I've been just looking around trying to figure out what my press hour is going to be. Normally I like to walk around and go talk to people like, hey, blah, blah, blah. So Scott's got a lot of stuff lined up, but I don't. So
my Saturday's empty.
I wish actually I don't wish my Saturday was empty, but I wish it was when a few different people emailed me about we're only there on Saturday. And it's just like, why aren't you here the other 3 days?
Yeah, like Bandai Namco was like, so I'm like, come on, man.
we have
Nintendo,
Saturday
like, come on,
free.
Man.
What about the other days? Oh yeah, we're not there the other days. Where are you?
Yeah, like what? So is this gonna be a big old empty spot? And can we? I know we're completely off topic. And
okay. So we were going to talk about PAX at the end. So
then I'll shut up.
No, this is that PAX. So this is PAX.
We'll just do it now.
We have a structure.
Okay.
We have just forgotten where the structure.
Okay, this is PAX now. So where I'm like bugging out is seeing all the love that Gamescom is getting, and then like knowing we're gonna get like a fourth of that. At PAX, and that's what's kind of breaking my heart because Gamescom looks like everything that E3 was at its height,
right?
And then to know that we don't have anything like that in the States anymore, like we don't have anything to that level anymore.
I mean, we got Summer Game Fest.
Yeah, we had Summer Games.
Okay.
Those are hit and miss. I mean.
But the issue with that is with Summer Games Fest is that is still very niche in a sense of you are exclusive. You, even if you're on the grounds, as we know, that doesn't mean you have access to everything.
Oh, don't we know?
Yeah, but with Gamescom, it's just a matter of getting in line and you can play. Like people were playing Atomfall, people were playing. Like, come on, like. And knowing that none of these things,
I'm going to Gamescom next year. I've already said.
Yeah, I have to go. Like this is nuts. Like I have to. I got more emails from them from Gamescom than PAX.
Yeah,
I wasn't even going.
Are you at Gamescom? I'm like, no.
Are you going to Gamescom? No. Are you guys at PAX? No. Okay.
I literally said that. I was like, I'll be at PAX. And they're like, well, we'll be at PAX. Like,
and I'm like.
All right, well, thanks.
Excuse me. Wait, your company? Why are you not at PAX?
Like, please be at PAX.
I'm looking forward to PAX. This is my first PAX West. I've always been going to East. I'm kind of frustrated that this is being held in 2 different buildings, and then some of the things are also in a different building.
That there's 3
buildings. The annex, the annex, Arch, and the Summit. And then no. So, well, I think the annex is. I think the annex is connected.
Well, I hope
annex
it
is connected to both. Yeah, they're like the middle. But it's funny because last year we could only go to like one of the areas of the annex building because Nintendo took over the whole thing.
Yes. Yeah. It's okay. So I'll say this: make sure with your scheduling, make sure it's in the same building, because I made the mistake. My Friday consisted of, and it wasn't just me. It was funny. Like, I ran into the Iron Lords. Everybody's sweating, stressed out because everybody's in the big new, brand new building.
Yep.
Getting ready for media hour, and then come to find out, nothing we were waiting on was in the brand new big building.
Hey, Scott,
We had to, and then everybody had to run 2 blocks with 10 minutes left before the media hour, and it was just chaos. And I'm just glad I wasn't the only one. But yeah, so
for that, Scott,
I put the building and the booth and the floor on every single one of the appointments to make sure that if we made one that was close to another one, it would be around the same time.
Do you guys know where the PAX Rising area is going to be?
I don't know, actually. No,
because they don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm supposed to say that out loud. They don't know. Like, I've talked to 2 different people about, I was like, oh, we're at PAX Rising. I was like, okay, so you guys in Summit or the Arch? We don't know.
Wherever the booth is for PAX Rising.
I was like, what? Like, I got 2 meetings. My Friday, I got 2 PAX Rising meetings, and I'm a little stressed. Oh.
Well, join the club.
I got none on Friday. I think there's a few that I have lined up that don't have booth numbers on, but I gave myself about an hour each.
Smart.
So that if it is in a different building, we know we can make
it.
I only got one thing on Friday, and don't forget the mix is on Friday, and also
my panel. I have a panel at 9 p.m. in the Frog Theater. Yeah, that's fine.
Dang.
Yeah, I'm on a panel. 9 p.m. 9 p.m. on Friday.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Okay, so I am on a game show. Shout out to Jacob McCourt, and we are doing trivia game night at PAX West Frog Theater, 9 p.m. Friday. So let me tell you my breakdown. What's going to happen? So 5, I'm going to be at I think it's YouTube Mixer. Somebody's doing a mixer. So 5 o'clock, I'm doing the YouTube Mixer. I'll be there for an hour. Yeah. Then I'm going to get a Lyft or an Uber and lift over to the mix event and do the mix until about 8:30.
Wait,
and then I'm gonna head.
Stop. Yeah, because we're doing the same. Oh God! So the YouTube thing's at 5.
YouTube thing's at 5. PAX. The mix opens up media hour at 6.
Yeah,
and then my event's at 9. And then of course, as long as that goes, then I'm gonna be hitting the streets and throwing my tail. At whatever party I can get into.
So I got an event at the mix.
The mix is dope. Honestly, I am looking forward to the mix.
I don't want to get in trouble.
Oh, I'm jealous. I'm already jealous. I just know it's something exclusive that I didn't get.
You should got an invite. If not, we can just say,
Most
hey, he's with us. Let's talk.
He's at the Outerhaven for tonight.
God, my brain's not working now. So
I'm a turncoat at heart.
I don't know if I'm going to go to the YouTube thing, but I'm kind of jealous because the last time you went to a YouTube
I'll hitch on to any chariot that is rising.
I kind of want to win stuff. I want to win
Ready to sell out. Yeah, I want things. As one of my new favorite rappers says, I'm here for the perks.
So are you guys bringing your significant others with you?
Yes, my wife is coming. I wasn't going to tell Fame because then he would have brought his whole family and out of guilt. But see, my wife, when we travel, we do this cool thing where it's like, all right, see you in a bit. And it's like, see you in a day or two. And like, she's just going to go off and do her own thing.
She's
been plotting and planning. I don't.
I feel bad.
She knows.
At the Mo. She's like, I'm fine. I'm like, oh, I don't want to leave you alone.
I don't. I got over that a long time ago. Bye.
Last time when we were at Summer Game Fest, and I was like, I gotta get back to Mo.
Yeah.
And she's like, just go. I'm like, no, you sure?
It doesn't feel right.
I don't want you hanging
over my head later on. So remember when you? Oh shit, here we go. So yeah, I definitely there's a lot of stuff going on. I definitely want to partake in the fun. And just because this guy knows everybody, I'm like, all right, he's this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy. I'm like, God. Who do you not know there, man?
Who, Scott?
No, you.
Oh,
Not me.
yeah. I know a few people. I try.
Just a few.
I just get emails. They know me, but I don't get the email. It's like, oh, Baron, that was you. You're that Baron. I don't know how many other Barons you know.
There's a lot of Barons in the game industry, apparently.
Yeah, super common name. Let's
I'm
go.
looking forward to going this year. Well, finally going. And there's a couple of people that I've been trying to see from different companies. There have not been at PAX East, but they're going to be at PAX West. I'm like, all right. So I've been talking to you for years. What's up? Because I love that. I love the face-to-face at a Summer Game Fest. So I was like, hey, we've been talking forever. Thanks.
Yeah.
And I kind of think that has helped a little bit. Like, I know this guy. This guy is cool. Let's send him some stuff.
Please. I'm in it for the perks. I'm not gonna lie. Keith, you've seen me on my own podcast. Yes, we want your money. Yes, Spectator Mode and Outerhaven wants your money. So please donate. Not donate. Please give, pay a little bit. If there's membership, what do you guys have? I'm gonna do it for you. What I normally do for.
We're working on a Patreon. Send money to our Patreon. We want to keep doing this for as long as possible. We want to
keep the lights on.
The places, I want to do all this stuff, but unfortunately, we're not one of the big people out there. So we need your money.
That's a lot of money.
We still have to have our actual job alongside.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. The 9 to 5 does not stop, but somehow we make this happen. I sacrifice quite a bit
right now, but it's coming. It's coming.
Hey.
I'm back in it. And a big my ex job, my former job.
Yeah,
help out those guys. Anyway, all right, let's talk about PAX. Let's move on. So, one of the games I'm looking forward to playing this year, we mentioned it briefly, is Path of Exile 2. I tried to play it at PAX East, but I was so busy, did not get a chance. And when I did go to the booth, they were like, nope, it's too full. And I was like, well, I'm not coming back. Sorry. And then people were like, this game is amazing. This game is amazing. And I'm like, shoot. But I did have a chance to play it at Summer Game Fest. And holy crap, that game is amazing. It's just, I played a lot of Path of Exile, and it's just everything they did in that game, but made it so much better. The equipment system, the gameplay is refined. The new class, the witch, is freaking amazing. The controller support, they were like, here's a controller. I'm like, controller?
You don't use that in Path of
Exile.
And it worked. There no WASD keys. It just worked. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, God, this is so good. This is so good. Really looking forward to playing it. I really liked what Grinding Gear Games does. Path of Exile came out of nowhere because they were like, screw Diablo, we're tired of Blizzard. And they made a phenomenal game. And they're still doing it. Path of Exile is just amazing. The expansion, it's just an amazing game. Unfortunately, I stopped playing it because I kind of wanted people to play with, and I did not have them. So I stopped playing it. Those kind of games, you really want people to play with you. But I am really looking for 2. 2 looks amazing. And 2 is going to be at PAX West, which sucks because Monster Hunter World Wilds is going to be at PAX West. And, well, maybe people are trying to play Wilds, and I can go back and play Path of Exile 2. Finally! Right? Because there's a beta. Well, there's a closed beta that's out right now, but I did not get access to it. And there is the early access happening on November 15th of this year. And that's pretty much the entire game. They're doing the early access model, which is great. And you play it and help them as they continue to work on it, which is fantastic. From what I played, the game is going to be great. If you guys thought that I disappeared when I played Elden Ring, well, this is going to be just as bad. Bye. Where's Keith? Bye. Shit's breaking down.
Godspeed.
Bye. I'm not going to be around. You better call my phone number or something because I'm not going to be there. I really love the fact that this company has been just putting in their heart and soul in this game, and they're doing so much good stuff. I had a chance to talk to them twice now, and it's just like, man, I want this game now. It's just like when Larian Studios was doing their push for Baldur's Gate 3. It's this. They're not getting as much press as BG3 because you can't have sex with bears, but
people forget that was the big push. That was the huge.
Yes,
that was it. That was the moment.
The moment you said, "Hey, we can have sex with bears," people were like,
remember they showed the crowd in the the stadium when they were presenting it and they showed that moment. They did the whole break. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm probably the only person excited about this game here, but I'm really looking forward to it. Plus, they're getting it certified for the Steam Deck, which means it'll play in the ROG Ally.
Yes, it will.
Look. Oh my God! Look, let me.
What are you doing?
Tell you.
Nothing. What are you doing? Nothing.
Path of Exile.
I'm literally doing nothing. I'm playing the game.
This is my thing. This is another one of those games that I truly feel can run on for infinite ever. And I just have so many other games to play that may feel infinite, but they have an endpoint. and I just know I still haven't even taken over the whole continent in Bannerlord. So like I'm just going, look, I have a lot to do, and I don't know if I want to put Path of Exile 2 in my world, like my orbit. Like I mean,
that's everybody's choice. There's a lot of games that need some loving. I understand that.
Yes.
But sometimes you can just divorce your backlog and go, you know what? It's not working out. It's not you, it's me.
It's not you. Sorry. The new games are getting bigger too.
I'm sorry.
God.
You can have everything else. Bye. I got this.
Which is why I never believe those people who are like, gaming is dead. We're getting no new games. And
I'm like,
these people.
Are you sure we're looking at the same game industry?
They're another
yeah. Like, are you kidding me? Like, if you just looked at AA titles, like we are getting a lot of games.
Yes.
I mean, this is the same year that we got Helldivers 2, freaking Rise of the Ronin. Like these are all 100+ hour games, easy. Like,
Stellar
what are you
Blade,
talking
Rebirth,
about? Yeah, come on! Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, oh man.
Yeah. Not to mention, we got Tekken 8. We got the
another Street Fighter getting crazy updates. Like, come on. What are you getting? Like 6 new characters in Street Fighter this year? Like you got Bison,
you got Terry. We got the SNK knockoff of Ken in Street Fighter, and I love Terry. Yeah. He started off as a knockoff as Ken, and now we have Terry fighting Ken in Street Fighter 6. Like, what? Yeah,
what are you talking about?
Yeah,
like, oh yeah, gaming is. And then we're getting a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger game. Like, come on. That looks amazing.
It looks great.
Playing that at PAX.
Oh, don't get me started on that. No, because they reneged on my appointment.
Well, you got to come.
Yeah, that horrible. Don't get me started.
You got to come.
Yeah,
we got to share our schedule and see which ones you want to come with us to.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely tap in with you guys because my Saturday is wide open outside of my. And I'm also raising money for Landfest.
Oh, please, thank you mentioned that. Can you explain that to me? Because I'm actually interested in doing that. So explain that to me.
Yes. So Landfest is a charity organization that likes to fuse gaming and healthy communities. And their whole premise is raising money for different organizations, and including themselves. So everything from children's hospitals to able gamers, veterans, like everything. So, for example, shout out to Smirky. He is going in, and they broke it up into 3-hour time slots from the opening to closing every day at PAX.
Okay.
And you as a creator can go in and take a 3-hour time slot. Like I took 4 to 7 on Saturday. So that you'll see me live on the floor. They have a whole area, cool background. They usually give you cool stuff. Like I got a special edition Spider-Man Zotek figurine that they don't make anymore. They gave those out to the creators last year. But our last PAX. So who knows what's going to be there. And you get a whole cool decked out station. And you'll see my lovely face. They use me in the marketing for their charity zone. That's what it's called. So you'll see my face on your background and everything. So as you're like prepping and loading up, I'll be sitting there smiling at you.
So,
but yes,
who determines what games you can play?
Oh, you let them know what games you want to play.
Okay.
So me, I put Call of Duty and Valorant, just something that I could play, interact. But you could pick what you want. Like you just let them know and they'll preload it onto the computer and make sure to have your station ready. It's actually a really smooth system. Shout out to No Skills. Shout out to Fish, Katie, everybody over at Landfest. They put on a dang good situation, and you get to pick the charity you want to work for, you want to raise money for. Like if there's somebody specific, like I know it's for me, it's always Able Gamers, Extra Life, or Landfest. So this time around, I did Landfest. I do a lot of charity stuff, and this is one that I'm always excited for, and it feels good because you're in the middle of the floor. People are walking around, and then they have a screen showing what you're playing. So as your stream is up, and then you're live, and like you're all telling folks what's going on. It's like, no, I'm really live in the middle of PAX, and there's like crowds of people walking by, interacting with you. It's super, super cool.
Well, I looked at that because I got an invite for it, and I was like, if I have some time, I would love to actually do that. The problem
is, a thing to put on your resume.
What would I play?
Dude, play Elden Ring.
Oh no, I don't want to play more Elden Ring.
Oh, okay. No, I'm just like seriously.
Path of Exile 2. No.
Hey, yo, I'm gonna be doing this thing. You give me access to the demo so I can play this on stream. Because guys, I have not streamed in a minute just because I'm a little frustrated with the streaming scene. It's a lot of reasons why I haven't streamed. So
that's fair.
There's a lot of crap out there that's just nothing's being handled. But that sounds like a good cause, and I would really like to do it. Scott, am I free to do anything this weekend? I asked that because Scott is leading the charge. Scott has put on the big boy pants. He's like, we're doing this. I'm like,
that's what I'm talking about.
I am telling you that you don't have to come to everything I write down. This is mainly to make sure that I know what I'm going to.
It's the one you need the camera for the interview. So I'm like, all right, I'm there. Fair. Let's go.
But no, dude, pick I know for me, I picked the later time slot, the 4 to 7, because I'm like, just in case something opens up, and then 7, because you could pick that slot as well, because there's multiple computers. I think they usually have like 6 to 7 computers set up. It's a whole area. I don't know if you've been to like DreamHack, but the way they describe it, it's very similar setup. Creators just lined up. And you'll be streaming next to other big creators. Like you'll never know who you're sitting next to. It's really cool setup. And if you have a 3-hour slot, do it. I'll go over there and be weird and make noise and be awkward.
I think I'll have to try it out. Maybe I will go play Outerhaven. Like, all right, I got 3 hours to get through.
Yeah,
this and this. Let's go.
Let people see those skills you brag about.
I got no skills. I ain't got no skills. I don't know what you're talking about. None. All right. So we talk about PAX Exile. So let's talk about some monkey magic.
Ooh.
So I've been hearing a lot of good things about this game and a lot of bad things about this game. I'm pretty sure we're all aware of how great this game's been selling and how great it is on Steam.
Yep.
Now, to be honestly, I think it's just because certain country wants to support this game, and they should.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
I wish other countries did the same.
Right?
I think Poland does it. Like they'll get funding from the states or from the country.
Poland definitely does.
Yeah. Like I like that. Like it's an art and it's representing a major part of your culture. So why aren't you doubling down behind it? Like, come on.
I mean, especially this game in particular, that is basically based on the most famous mythological tale that's in this country.
Like that stemmed so many other things.
If you don't know
Dragon Ball Z, like come on, like you have a whole cultural icon that stemmed from this one story.
Yeah.
So how? I don't remember, but I do know they were like saying this game is probably one of the fastest selling games of all time, which is
it's sold 10 million copies in 3 days.
3 days.
That's mind blowing when you think about that.
That's a lot of
games
that's a lot of copies.
Yeah,
of all the games that have ever been released of all time.
Yep.
This has like I'm right there now from a studio that we're not going to talk about.
I didn't think the game was real. I'm not
going to talk about the issue with
I'm being honest.
The developer. They've got their own issues. I'm talking about the game, folks. I'm separating that from the game, okay?
Facts.
They came out of nowhere with this game. And I've been seeing people talk about it here and there, but I was like, all right. And it took forever for this game to finally come out. And it came out. And I'm not completely in love with it. I definitely have some issues with the performance.
Yeah.
I definitely have some issues with when you get later on stages, the game just starts to fall apart. I have an issue where I don't want to say doesn't hold your hand, but it doesn't really help you out in that instance either. I know a lot of people were saying that this is eating Elden Ring's lunch, and I laugh at them going, "You're full of crap. That's just not happening." I think you're in the honeymoon stage, and then after a week or so, you go, "Okay, this is fun, but it's not all that."
But maybe that will be the thing that does necessarily eat Elden Ring's lunch is the fact that it is.
Oh, it has already.
Yeah, it's casual.
It has. Oh, hell yeah.
Casual experience it's gonna trump the niche. Like I mean, that's why 2K and freaking Madden do numbers and Call of Duty do numbers every year.
I don't know if it will, just because the game is considered to be a boss rush game, which is fine. But that's kind of not everybody's cup of tea. People are starting complaining that, okay, I fight a couple enemies and I turn the corner and I'm fighting another boss. I'm like, all right, but some people like that. I have zero problems with that.
I mean, you have Shadow of the Colossus. That's its whole premise.
I have no problem with that.
That's a popular game too. So
yeah, that's true.
The only issue I have with this game is the performance. They should have waited a couple months. They should have waited a couple more months and pushed the game out. It's got a lot of performance issues, which they mentioned that they're trying to get them corrected on the PlayStation, and the PC is not as in a bad place the PlayStation version is, but it has its own issues. And that's something that really frustrated me because people who played this game, let's be 100 here. Most people who played this game and reviewed this game and played this game on YouTube and Twitch or whatever, they were playing the PC version, and not a lot of them were talking about, hey, the PC version has its own fair share of issues, which really pissed me off, because when you're playing a game like this, or when you're playing any game and you're showcasing the game or you're reviewing the game, it is your job to tell people, hey, this game has an issue. This game does this. Maybe you don't want to buy this game if your machine isn't up to the task, because as you mentioned earlier, not everybody has a 4090 to try and brute force your way through the game. And even then, people are having issues with 4090s. The game is not very optimized, but they pushed it out. That's the sign of a new developer. And even then, developers that have been around for a while do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate.
At this point, an Unreal Engine 5 thing, the optimization thing is just a hard thing to try to sort out with Unreal Engine 5.
I just think that maybe they aren't in tune, because this is the first go for them. This is the very first go for them. And they recouped more than enough money. They can go back and go, all right, we need to sit down. We need to look at this, put out some patches, make this game play a bit better. Maybe do some quality of life updates as well for the game.
Black Myth Wukong enhanced?
Black Myth Wukong, what it should have been. Do that. We go back to the age-old adage or motto of Blizzard that doesn't do it anymore. We'll release it when it's done. Now, obviously, that didn't happen, and as we're seeing here, I don't really have a problem in game. I actually was sitting down, talking with a good friend of mine yesterday, and we were talking about the game. I'm like, he was like, as somebody who plays a lot of Souls-like games, I would have figured you be loving the game. I'm like, it's all right, but it's not a Souls game, and I wish people would stop saying that. Not that I have a problem playing anything that's not a Souls game, because I grew up on, the Metal Gear Revengeance and the Bayonettas and the Devil May Cry. I don't have a problem with those games. I love those games. It's just...
Is this more of that?
Yes.
Yeah, this is not nearly as methodical.
So it's more character action?
Yes. Oh, yes.
I think you're accidentally selling it now to Baron.
The people that are saying this game's a Souls-like is like, stop saying it. This is not a Souls-like. Please stop saying it.
It's more Nier Automata.
Right there. There you go.
It's probably. I think Nier Automata is mostly what it's like.
And you're still Blade. And it's funny.
Then I do not want to play this game.
This game came out and everybody's forgetting about Still Blade. Like, okay, but this is more of the same. Fantastic.
I do not want to play this game.
And then don't forget we got Phantom Blade Zero coming out next year.
That I want to play.
That one.
But you don't want to play this.
Nope.
Okay. Fair enough. I mean, it's fair.
Just I'm not a Devil May Cry guy. I'm not a Nier guy. I'm not I'm good. Just like I don't play platformers anymore.
You don't like the Mario games?
Oh my god!
Nope.
That right there. So let me just stop you real quick. So Jordan, when you watch this show, I'm talking about you, buddy. So he's the guy we're playing Elden Ring with, and there are certain parts of Elden Ring they put platforming in, and he's getting mad and he's jumping, and he's like, "Why would they put this in the game? Like, you don't like platforming?
You got to take your goat and get up the cliff and whatnot."
Did you ever play Super Mario Brothers? This is how you play the game. He gets mad sometimes. He gets there. He's getting it. He is getting it. He has gotten so much better in Elden Ring. I'm proud of him. Proud sensei. He's doing so much better. So Concord.
Yeah.
This game is very polarizing. I've seen some people say this game is great. I've seen some people say this game is hot doo-doo. I've seen people that are like, I'm in the middle. I don't have it. To be honest, I am not interested in the gameplay whatsoever. I do like the lore, but the game itself has turned me off.
This is one of those times where I'm kind of disappointed because of like the trailers that we've had before it was announced. Gave us a completely different mindset of what it was supposed to be like, because of like the characters were super charming, the world itself was super interesting, engaging, and things were just like, what is going on? And then the reveal of, it's a PvP game, and it's just like,
what? What?
And it hurts. It hurts.
It hurts because there's something like, I want to know more about the world. I want to know more about the characters. I want to know more about how I can actually like engage with these systems. But no, it's just
pew 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 the other person.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like the irony of it was the problems of Overwatch 1. Where we had so much interesting lore inside the characters, inside the places you were in, inside the levels, inside each decision they made of the guns, just to be like, well, we want more about the story, we want more about what's going on with these characters, and Overwatch 2 got announced, and it's supposed to be that, and then it wasn't that.
And also the fact that this game took 8 years to develop. 8 years. They're not telling how much money, but 8 years. You spent a crap ton of money over 8 years. This is a massive failure for PlayStation. No matter how
the game is super polished, it's super like the gunplay is apparently very well done in how it is.
But at the end of the day, it's another hero shooter, team shooter. Nobody wants that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you, they would have done a lot better to market that from the jump.
Yes,
because people's expectations, and I feel their biggest mistake was doing the $40 thing.
Yeah.
What they should have done is what you've seen with what do they call it? Where you go in and it's like, oh hey, this is a supporter. This is a gold tier supporter who decided to spend $20. They got a couple of extra skins and they get the game 3 days early from everybody. Oh, this person really supports us and wanted to drop $100. We'll put their name in the credits. Like, no, like they should have went that route and then had it go free to play when it launched. Because now, you made some money. Because of course, who doesn't want to play it early? Most of the content creators out there are going to play it early.
Yeah, I'm guessing most of them played it early with pre-orders.
Thank you. I think you would have done better than to outright say, hey, the only way to get into this game that exists in a genre that's full of free-to-plays is not free to play. Like, I think they shot themselves in the foot because let's be real, especially with this performance, I give it a month, 2 months, a quarter max. They're going to go free to play. January, they'll go free to play.
No, let me ask you this. So that was the question I was going to ask you. Not free to play. Do you think that this might be the first game that from PlayStation that goes to Xbox to try and recoup some money?
Oh, wow. That would be a good gateway drug. That'd be a good gateway drug. That would definitely be a way to kind of test out the whole, hey, will this survive outside of Game Pass on the other console? Like that's not bad. I could see them doing that. And it wouldn't cost them nothing. It would only make them money. even if they only sold 600 copies. Like it that whoa, I could see that happening. I'm shocked I haven't seen anybody say that online. Like that's I don't like this. Does the church know?
It's gonna be interesting for that. Just because a lot of, I mean, this is the weird thing of the whole console warrior phase, I think, where a lot of the Xbox like people on either Twitter or the other social medias are super against Concord as a concept. Yes. And it's also like kind of gives you like the weird pivot of where all the people were initially really against Sea of Thieves on PlayStation side until it came to PlayStation and revealed that they sold 1 million copies of it on PlayStation. So
which is insane. That's insane.
Yeah.
Because what is that game, like 8 years old?
Yeah, it's 8 years old.
Yeah. Like, come on, that's insane. An 8-year-old game going to a competitor's market and putting out 1 million? And it was, I think it's still in the top selling of the charts, right?
Yeah, it's still pretty high up in the charts. So people are still buying to play it. I mean, there was definitely a market for it in PlayStation, apparently, as much as they say otherwise.
there was 100%. Come on, we know they're missing multiplayer.
So this might be another one of those cases where Xbox says they hate it, and then it comes to Xbox and realize, oh wait, they bought copies of the game.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny, right? Because I caught hell about this on Reddit, talking about oh my god, I'm clearly hungry. I'm blanking. I'm so sorry. Blanking on the name Outriders. I caught hell because I told everybody I was absolutely right. I was like, look, Outriders should be $40. It should be on Game Pass, and that will give it the stimulus package, and then they need quarterly content. I said that, and everybody was like, what? You don't want a complete game? The devs said they made a complete game. I was like, no, it's not that I don't like complete games. It's just everything about this game screams season pass. Games as a service.
Yeah. I really love
that game. I put days into it. I think when it launched, because that was the year Xbox did their whole like digital museum. I think that was my most played game. And that I was like I bought my Series X to load into the world faster because Fame was complaining about me running off of my OG. He was like, bro, we're all loaded in. We're waiting on you. I was like, I'm tired of this. I'm not going to be look, I am not poor. I'm not broke. I will buy another and I did it. I only upgraded for Outriders.
I played a shit ton of
But think about it. They needed more events. They needed seasonal guns and gear to drop. They needed RNG. Like everything that is in a games as a service, it needed. So my point being, going back to Concord, you need a stimulus package, whether it's PlayStation Plus, whether it's like you would have thought they would have put it in the premium.
You thought it'd be at least an extra. No,
at least, like, come on, like, did they even do a 2-hour thing? Like nothing.
No, I don't
like
think they
really
trial for it either.
See, they pulled the WB. They went full WB on this one.
Yeah, they only did a PlayStation Plus like beta.
I was going to ask you, are they still putting out content for that game? I stopped playing after a while.
Oh, I stopped playing. They did a DLC, but I stopped playing. Like it just after you buy the guns, there's no better guns. Like there's no better roles. There's no like
that's kind of bad.
You really shoot yourself in the foot when you make games as a service that's not a service. I don't know. Then you showed monsters that you don't ever get to fight or see in the game. Like it was just so much. Like where's the giant stick walking things like that you see in the intro of the game, but you see it walk past. That's it. It's there's a giant creature.
You need to have an incentive to play the game in order to want to play the game. I mean, as much as having a fun game to play for the sake of playing is fun, if there's no incentive, you'll still pop off eventually.
Yeah,
because you played as much as you wanted to.
Yep, which isn't, and that's not necessarily a bad thing either.
No,
you know what I mean. But if you want this game to have legs, it should have been in games as a service. Now,
they did a lot of work to fix the game because there was a lot of issues with that game. And
you remember that fake wall, that leveling wall,
and pushing to make it, and they made it a better game. But eventually, it just fell off. I was like, well,
yeah,
there was no point in playing it anymore. Also, Endgame was terrible. Once you beat the game, it was that was it.
I can't believe that game got me to be interested in time trials. Like that's something that I've religiously skipped.
So much.
I've religiously avoided. Like you're talking to a guy who never did raid dungeons. Like there's so much about that game that pushed me to do things that I never did in other games. Like I was legit like, we gotta get it under 15 minutes.
End game a time trial.
Yeah, that was the whole end game, and I put a lot of time into it. And they got a lot out of me. I mean, we heavily like, hey, you need to use this weapon. Hey, we need this layout. Like we were planning, and I'm like, this is a time trial. Holy hell! I'm sick of myself. Just like
anywho, let's get back to Concord. But yeah, I really do think that maybe this could be the game that they go, you know what? It's not making us money. We need to make the money back. Maybe we'll throw Xbox a bone. I really don't say like that, but hey, maybe we'll put this on Xbox. Because 8 years and God knows how much money you put into this.
Yeah.
To just let it go like this. It's just the numbers of people playing are low, and it's just going to get lower.
Yep.
Unless they do something about it.
Isn't it kind of weird that this is not getting the same coverage of how bad it's doing versus a lot of other games that have released recently?
Suicide Squad.
What is? I was going to ask you, what is your?
I think Suicide Squad had had more coverage than Concord. Like that's insane.
Had a lot of negative coverage even before coming out.
Yeah. Oh, Redfall. I mean, we can go down the list. Redfall, Halo Infinite. Like, we could go down the list. There's so many. It's just so strange to watch a major AAA game from a major company published by even bigger company.
Under the radar.
Like, they're not talking about it like it's an indie. Like, that's if you told me this was an indie game, I'd believe you just based on the coverage of it.
Yeah.
1,000%.
And I wonder if it's also due to like the marketing beforehand with the fact that Concord has had like no marketing.
No Man's Sky had more marketing than Concord.
Yeah.
But it didn't have positive marketing. Come on.
No Man's Sky. Don't do that. No Man's Sky had a state of play, had a whole event.
But so did this.
This had a state of play?
It came out.
This was in a state of play, but it didn't have a state of play.
No Man's Sky had its own state of play like Spider-Man.
And then what happened?
People forget that.
And then what happened? It came out. It didn't do good. And PlayStation
Exactly. But guess what? Let's flip it. PlayStation's doing it in the beginning. They're doing it before it launched and as it's in its infancy. Like
I don't have any I don't have any investment in this game. But
me neither.
I don't want to see a game that people worked on for 8 years and put it out and are happy with what they did. And it's not really a bad game.
Yeah, that's the sad thing. When you look at like the developers and the publishers who like worked on it, they're just like, this is my passion project. I loved everything we did with it. And all the comments are people just like getting angry at them, like, well, you apparently suck at what you do, and it's just like,
and that's the thing. It's like the world, the characters are interesting, but people just did not want another shooter.
Yeah.
Well, and that's once again, as I talk about all the time, this was a sin of marketing. They didn't tell people what this was.
No,
they didn't.
Saw story trailers, and then we saw like the title cards, and then we saw like the color scheme, which all of those are fantastic.
Yeah,
but we didn't know what the actual game was until like that one state of play that had it for a 20-minute thing where
everybody was like,
"Oh, it was another."
You want to know what the bad thing about all this is? Check this out.
5 minutes of the gameplay, and everyone's like, "Oh."
But look at this, Scott. Look, so you released it. It's a shooter. It's trying to get some kind of traction. It's trying. And then Kyle comes out and goes, "Oh, never mind."
This is man, and then they're redoing zombies. Like, you already know people are
COD is going to murder some games.
Yeah.
I am excited for COD. I don't like COD anymore.
Call of Duty's beta's in 5 days, by the way.
Shut up, Scott. We'll be at PAX.
We're not going to be on that beta, by the way.
Oh, man. What else is being released? Because it's usually something releasing every time. right before a major event. Like it was Starfield at PAX East. Wait, was it Starfield? No. There was something that released. No, PAX West last year. Starfield released the week like that. Day one of PAX, people were playing. I was like, well, I got this interview, but I couldn't go back to the room.
See, here's the great thing about all this. So here's the good thing. ROG Ally.
Ooh.
And I'm bringing my gaming laptop.
Yeah, I'm gonna be bringing probably my Steam Deck and
hey,
my
where's
laptop.
Keith at? He's preoccupied.
He's busy.
God, my wife is gonna hate me so much. God.
Hey man.
I love you, wifey. I love you. Oh man, yeah, I feel bad for Concord. But you know what else I feel bad about? Oh my God, the salt mines that is Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a phone call. Who's calling me?
Can I tell you the one part that bothered me the most about all of it with Indiana Jones was the fact that they allowed a one more thing.
Yes.
That should not have been a thing.
I was like, oh, you know what? First off, they should have never said anything. They should have let the game release. Then after the initial, announce, oh, and by the way, in a couple months, and by May 2025, it's going to be coming to PlayStation 5. That's when you do that. You let it run its course.
Yeah.
That
you don't do
happen. No, not at all.
Oh, and one more thing, I was like, no.
I'm watching Jeff Keighley. I'm watching Jeff Keighley smile. I'm like, come on.
Oh, and you said it. And one more thing.
I know a lot of people are going to go, look, you just stop. Like, look, I have my Xbox,
yeah,
and my gaming PC, and my PlayStation. No, I do. Yeah, PlayStations. Okay. I will play the game where I want to play. I am so all over the place with this because I've always said play the games where you want to play them. But I also don't like when I'm invested in one platform and you're telling me that these games are coming out for this platform, so people go get that platform, and then you go, oh, by the way, we're bringing it out for this platform as well. You could have told them from the get-go, okay, this is also coming out for PlayStation. From the get-go.
Yeah.
But you didn't. You said, no, this is coming out Xbox. This is coming for Xbox. It's coming for Xbox.
Like they even literally had an FTC case where they were talking about it coming exclusively to Xbox.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And I get it. I know some people are going to argue and say, it doesn't make a difference because you're still playing an Xbox game. That's not what this is. No. What you're doing is telling Xbox gamers who believe in you, this is a company.
You're not enough.
You got to stop doing that. Yeah. That you don't matter and it's not enough. What you are doing is not enough.
Yeah, this has been the year where Xbox has basically been saying Xbox gamers are like third party for themselves. Yeah. They don't treat them as the first platform they want to focus on. PC is still their first platform they focus on. Heck, even when you look at some of like the Xbox showcases, they still have PC exclusive first party games from Xbox. They don't come on Xbox anymore.
You know what they need to do for PC? Let me just jump in here real quick. Fix their crappy launcher.
Yes, please. The Microsoft Store launcher, the Xbox Store launcher, the Xbox Game Pass Store launcher. Oh, those are terrible.
And I had the damn launcher on Steam.
Yeah.
God. Yeah. God, it's so annoying. But
this is
yeah. It's, sorry, go. I'm frustrated.
I don't want to witness I'll say this. Xbox is once again ahead of the curve and loud and abrasive. And that's why it's just not landing. Like, it's the same. Come on. Everybody lost their mind over the Apple AR thing when HoloLens was 5-6 years older than that. Like literally, and it looked better.
Oh my God. The Apple Pro thing. I'm gonna walk outside with this on my headset. Walk down the street. No,
but HoloLens had been. You know what I mean? Like but nobody thought, hey, Microsoft did that already. They're just super loud, and it's almost like they don't know how to sell anything. Like it just. then they don't know how to deliver bad news. Like, you really let this be a one more thing? Like, on opening night live? No, they don't. And that's the Everborn Saga, much love to you. He said it best, and I'm paraphrasing. Microsoft is making it very clear that they're not selling to the hardcore Xbox fan anymore. They are not, like, at all, any way, shape, or form. We are not their market. We are an afterthought. And that's the future of what we're looking at for Xbox. Like, so
going with the assumption that Microsoft expects Xbox platform to just buy everything on there, so they don't have to worry about selling anything to them.
Mm-hmm.
They're just basically taking their fan base as an expectation rather than an actual like demographic they need to actually cater to.
Yes.
And this is what I was trying to explain to the echo chamber that is known as Twitter. It's not about the games. It's about showing that the people who supported you, that they matter.
Yes.
That's the main thing. Oh, they got Halo and Forza. Okay, great. But for how long? You don't see PlayStation treating their audience like this. Even though it is a business, you don't see PlayStation doing this.
And it's that infinite race to the bottom. And I think that's what's going to I don't know if it'll implode, but I think that's what's going to crush it long term, is the whole process of always chasing more. And it's like, okay, well, when are you going to build that base? Like, I really, even though Concord is struggling, the idea of them putting it on Xbox sounds absurd in comparison, just because as how they function as a company. Like, PlayStation is trying to sell you a PlayStation, not just the ecosystem. They are trying to sell you a console. And the way they show that is every time you see a commercial, it ends with PlayStation, and then it has the PS5 on the screen.
Now,
Xbox don't even tell you to go pick up an Xbox at any point.
That's the thing.
It arrives on Game Pass.
And this is and this is the thing I was talking to my friend again about. I was like, they don't really care anymore. Okay, great. They want you to buy stuff within their ecosystem, and I can understand that. But the messaging, again, it's wrong. Hey, you can play Xbox games via Game Pass on an Amazon Fire TV stick. Okay, great. But you know that experience isn't perfect. It's nice. But if you
and then all you had to say is the best place to play it is on the Xbox.
That is it.
That's all you had to add. That's it. That's it.
And I can't even argue with that. Because even on PC, everybody has a different configuration. You might have a potato PC and runs games like crap. I brought it on my PC. It runs like ass. Well, okay. Not everybody has the latest and greatest hardware. And even then,
even the new CPUs are having issues.
Man.
That's the thing. They're slapping their own hardware down. And I understand people are like, well, maybe they want to get a hardware. Maybe they want to focus on software. I understand that. But again, you have to spend money to make money.
Yep.
You're catering to your hardware. Okay, great. So what about all these freaking millions of controllers that they're making? What do you think they're using it on? Their PC or their Xbox? Or their Fire TV stick.
Or their Fire sticks, yeah.
Look, man.
You can't use it on PlayStation.
I'm really trying to find something. I tweeted because somebody was like, "Oh, let's start a fight. I'm bored," and I went in basically saying, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh, well, I'm down for the chaos. Let's see where this goes." Long story short, I basically said that the next Xbox at this point is going to be a $700 niche handheld. It'll be a handheld, and from now on, the base core Xbox experience will be an Xbox controller with 3 months of Game Pass Ultimate attached to it. Like Android. That's gonna be
Android.
That will be the core experience. Like I believe that because everything else is showing me that. Because once again, I'm basing what my predictions on your current actions. One, you're not trying to sell me your console. You are not actively trying to sell me your console. You can't tell me you are because your marketing budget says otherwise. Two,
they're not even trying to sell you the Game Pass console version.
Thank you. Two, you talked about wraps. You don't even have customizable console wraps anymore.
One of those wraps, and it's like, are you done? Is that it?
They stopped investing in it. Why would a company stop investing in the customization of their physical console if they're not going to be making much more physical consoles. Like, what happened to all those 360 faceplates? Like, no, but like, no,
Yo,
but
the 360 faceplates, I love that. That was amazing.
Yeah, no, that was super cool until you got the red ring, and then like there was a chance you wouldn't get it back.
Yeah.
But my point is, I'm only going off of your actions, and where you put your money is where I believe you would believe in as a company. You're not putting money into selling me your console. You're not putting money into, hell, you won't even put for sale that would do gangbusters your custom special edition consoles. You could have marketed them up $200 more and people would have bought it. Are you kidding me?
No.
I would have bought
No. We got to give those to the content creators. We got to give those away to private.
Which you only give out 10 that exist. Like, you only find 10, and then 5 of them are in UK, and then the other 2 are in Canada, and then like somehow the US needs to split up the rest. But my point is, nothing about what, and I'm not going to say Xbox anymore. Nothing about what Microsoft is doing tells me that I'm excited to see Game Pass and Microsoft 365.
Oh my god!
Because that's the next step.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, it is.
Microsoft. Why not?
You know what?
It's already,
I kind of feel bad. I kind of feel bad for Phil Spencer. I kind of do.
Because they're making him look like a big liar.
Yeah, it's not him. He's not
They're making him look bad.
No,
I'm kind of excited to see his talk at PAX. I normally don't go to the main.
He's not gonna.
I know, but man, dude ages like a real life president. No, they're making him look very bad. They're making him look bad.
Yeah.
No, they're making him look horrible, and I feel so bad because I think I was on here last time when we talked about it. I think the only reason Xbox didn't go this far earlier this year was because Phil and Sarah and them were really arguing to the higher ups, like going back and forth. Like, look, don't do this. You'll kill the brand as a whole. But once again, it'll just be Microsoft Gaming. It won't even be Xbox. Like, that's what's going to happen. And then everybody uses the excuse.
Go to Microsoft Game Pass.
I'm telling you, that's the true future. Why? Because if you look at the way Microsoft moves now, that's the future. It's a safe assumption. It's a safe bet. If there was gambling lines on this, I would put money that in the next 5 years you won't see Xbox, the name Xbox anymore. It would be just Microsoft Gaming. Why? Because it's easier to market because you got a bunch of the Microsoft logo everywhere.
It makes sense.
Anyway,
it
just makes sense.
It makes perfect sense.
Like, and if it's all about making money, if it's not about building a brand, but more so bottom dollar, because let's be real, if it was bottom dollar for PlayStation, they would put their games everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Like, if it's pure just making money.
Thank you.
PlayStation would put their games everywhere.
Exactly.
If it's because everybody's like, no, money. If it was just money, Nintendo would put their games everywhere.
It's about their brand. It's about
there's a brand.
I don't want to say loyal to the audience.
No, it's not loyalty. No, it's branding.
To be marketable to the audience. Hey,
yes,
these games are synonymous with PlayStation, and we will never put them anywhere else.
Yeah. Just like Nintendo does the same thing. But guess what Microsoft is about? And it makes sense. And I'm shocked it took this long because look at the DNA of Microsoft. Microsoft is a company that is in 99% of computers around the world.
Yep.
Not too many places on Earth and in space you can go to and not see Microsoft. No, am I lying? You guys are the tech guys. I'm just like I'm just
actually there's Linux and Mac OS as well.
Oh, and Ubuntu. Like, look, I know these things exist, but when you think computers, Microsoft is a safe bet. Fair? When people clock into work, they're on Teams. like, come on. They're embedded in everything. So now rolling into gaming, why not take that same approach? Why wouldn't the company who has whose DNA and core purpose is to be involved in everything wouldn't have their games in and available in everything?
The only downside to it becoming Microsoft Gaming is it legitimately will be out of hardware.
Yes.
And that's
1,000%.
And this is where we need to get to the other point. We cannot have Microsoft leaving hardware. People do not understand it. The PlayStation
it'd be horrible.
loyalists are saying Xbox needs to die. You do not understand this.
You don't want that.
If PlayStation would be the only console out there, not counting a Nintendo Switch, you would see less innovation, unless Sony really cares, less innovation because they're not going up against anybody, and your prices will go up. History has shown us this. When AMD left the CPU scene for a little bit, Intel did nothing and raised prices.
Because they didn't have to. They didn't have to.
When AMD is not keeping pace with NVIDIA, what is NVIDIA doing? They're raising prices and releasing GPUs that are garbage.
They released the same exact thing at higher prices.
Man.
Because AMD is not a competitor for them right now.
And this is it's sad to see.
Coke raised its prices because whatever.
Yeah. It sucks, man. It's a race to the bottom. And it's weird watching the old guard and then the new guard like go back and forth. Like,
yeah, it is.
Because I think that's what's happening. That's what it feels like.
Happening.
And it when I think of the general consumer, because that's who I talk to. If you read a review of mine, if you my perspective, I am a consumer at heart. That's who I am. I'm shocked I'm doing the stuff I'm doing on my ROG Ally. Like normally I'm an out the box vanilla player. Like, but I'm tweaking with stuff.
You don't leave PCs by themselves. You tweak them. You abuse them.
This is what I'm learning.
Hands everywhere.
But let me tell you.
Normal.
Let me tell you. Man. Oh God. This once again, my future for Xbox. I think we're gonna get a $700 super expensive niche handheld. And who knows who they'll partner with? It'll probably be like Samsung for some reason.
I keep arguing.
And it'll have like Snapdragon something in there.
Oh my God!
They cannot do it handheld. There's no reason.
Look, hey,
just release Windows Gaming Edition.
No, but check this out. It would be super niche, and it would be. They're gonna price it almost like what do they have like the Surface Pros? It would be so priced out of the everybody price range.
I don't know because the Surface are actually pretty decently priced.
Is it then? Which one is it? What is their? Don't they have a tech that they have like their laptops or whatever that's expensive as hell in comparison to the competitors?
If you're talking about the new ones or the ones that are running Intels,
I just know that their stuff's expensive in comparison.
Okay, so I have the Surface 7 Pro. I'm sorry, Surface 7 laptop. The Surface 7 Pro is a tablet. The Surface 7 laptop is a laptop, and that's with the new Qualcomm Snapdragon.
See, look, Snapdragon. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a niche thing, man. And
Snapdragon's ARM, but I really do want ARM to do good. I really do. I want ARM to do good because I really think that is where the future is.
I don't
Scott,
see them.
You can jump in.
Yeah, Scott, please tell me to be quiet.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I'd rather have. As much as Phil's been saying how much he wants to do a handheld, I do think it's not a wise idea for them. And if they do, it will be super niche. They're not going to be doing Steam Deck numbers because it will probably be super overpriced in the sense of its competition. But it will be in the same vein as probably like a ROG Ally X, but it won't be the same tech specifications.
ROG Ally X was Steam OS. They ain't got a chance. Don't do it.
Yeah.
But once again, it's not Phil we're talking to. You get what I'm this is the mindset, and this is why I'm like we're talking about the same people who got rid of the HoloLens, who got rid of the Windows Phone, who got rid of these are who we're talking about. We're talking about these folks. So imagining them making a blunder, because guess what they're going to compare it to? Well, look at how the look at how look at Steam Deck, look at ROG, look at the Switch.
2 million. Why can't you? No.
look at the Switch. The Switch didn't even have to make many changes. It's not as powerful.
We're not.
It's just,
no.
You don't want to compare anything to the Switch.
No, but listen, we're talking the suits outside of the gaming space. That's what we're talking to. They're gonna look at raw numbers. Because once again, if it was about the success of gaming, you would have not did in one more thing to Indiana Jones. You would not have done that if it was about gaming. And the fact that we're outside of the realm of gaming,
that's the problem. We have people in companies that don't understand this.
I agree.
To them, it's about the money. And
I'm not talking about these things I'm saying.
But it has to be about the games. It has to be about
the games. Yeah, but it's not. It is not about us. It is about what makes sense on paper and what has the highest chance for a dope 300% ROI. And let me tell you the biggest reason why I think we're going to get away from consoles sooner than later when it comes to Xbox. You don't have to invest any money in your research and development. You don't have to invest in parts. You already have the system and the core backbone in place, which is Game Pass, and a way to deliver, which is in Windows. Like, you already have everything in place, and it would only be once again, if it's only about money, which that's the route we're looking right now. It's only I'm starting to think the Activision Blizzard deal was the worst thing that could have happened to Xbox.
Just because Microsoft now has a bigger eye on Xbox.
Thank you. It went from a cute hobby.
And keep in mind that this deal is not over yet. It has not been
still in the FTC limbo.
Yep.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, that deal pierced the veil between Microsoft and Xbox. When I started seeing Satya Nadella talking on behalf of Xbox, I knew it was done. I was like, oh, it's cooked. You got the head of Microsoft.
Especially when he started saying things differently than Phil.
Yes,
you're just like only one of these things are going to happen, and odds are it's the guy
disappeared. Remember, Phil disappeared for a very long time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I was like, oh, it's done. So for the spirit of Xbox, the Activision Blizzard deal was the worst thing ever to happen to it. For the spirit of Xbox, not financials, not success, but the spirit of it. It died with the Blizzard deal.
It just seems like over and over there's this thing about Xbox dying, or somebody wants to sell Xbox, or it's not doing well, and it's a constant thing. It keeps happening, and not in those direct words, but you're seeing it.
Yeah.
And it's like, what do you do?
How do you argue against it? Like, screw what you're telling me. Look at what you're doing.
Exactly. Go up to Xbox.
What you're doing.
Go up to Microsoft. Mr. Xbox, sir, please don't get rid of my console. It's about the money, child. It's
about
the money.
I'm sorry. Can I have some more consoles, please? Like, no, it doesn't make sense, especially when you got everybody and their mom telling you you're not selling.
But you can have Game Pass
to community.
Have Game Pass.
I have Game Pass. I'm going to use it on whatever.
I'll tell you this. What would have been a better deal with all of this, right? Like, let's say everything is going down the dark path. At least double down on third-party stuff. Like, the fact that Hogwarts Legacy is still not in Game Pass is the most insane thing to me. Like, that game should have been in Game Pass. Like, are you... What? Like, what do you mean? Like, it just...
I mean, heck, you can even utilize Game Pass to get into the whole Zaslav, who loves all the subscription services, who's super big on putting everything on every subscription service but his own for some stupid reason.
Yeah, and it's killing Cartoon Network. Like, how do you kill
Cartoon Network? Doesn't make any sense. He's like, we have all these stuff. We're putting it on Amazon. Why not Max? Because we don't care about Max. But you own Max!
Yeah, like, how, Sway?
All right. Let's talk about something that's equally depressing and also very near and dear to our hearts. So there was a Twitter post, because I'm not calling it X, that I saw earlier today that was talking about content creators and press. And for those who aren't paying attention, we are actually part of the press. Well, woohoo. If you talk to a certain person, we're also content creators, but we're more press. And the statement was creators and press get the same access to gaming events, gaming content, interviews, and embargoed news. Do you believe both sides are held to the same standard? Okay, first of all,
correct them. Please correct them.
There's a lot of sides to this, but gaming creators, content creators, and press do not get the same amount of access.
Preach!
We've been doing this chat for 13 years and say professionally the last 8 or 9, and it is not the same.
No
way in hell. None of. And I don't want to see any of these big people on here saying that it is because you guys aren't press. You're content creators. No, it is not even equal. It has not been equal, and it will not be equal. The only exception is top dollar press.
Top dollar. I mean,
GameSpot.
IGN pretty much.
Mega companies that will
Forbes
be at event.
Like
Forbes,
if you're not Forbes, if you're not routers, like it just, bro.
When you start going down to people that independent journalism or people that don't have the specific numbers that people are looking for, you do not get access to those events. Trust me, I've talked to more than enough people that are doing this, and they say the same thing. They do not get access to events. They cannot talk to certain PR companies. They don't get access to certain things. Trust me, that is not the case. I really
PlayStation.
Stop saying that. That is not the case. Has not been the case for a while. And to the guy, and I'm trying to be nice to the guy that says that press do not like. No, let me go down here to this guy. Sean eats food. Press holds themselves to a lower standard. Must have not been pressed for a long time due to it. They are slowly going out of business year by year, and creators are thriving. Creators are a modern natural progression of journalism as a whole, adapt to the market or go extinct. First of all, if you listen to most influencers, you're a freaking moron.
It's in the name. Influencer.
Dr. Disrespect. Would you follow him? Would you listen to the stuff that he says? I'm not trying to be rude to anybody out there. I'm just putting it out there. There are a lot of great content creators out there that do a great job. They follow everything to the T. They pay attention to embargoes, et cetera, et cetera. They are fantastic people. But then there are some out there that don't. There are some that have broken the rules many times, and companies came after them, and all they got was a don't do it again. But if somebody smaller did that, content creator,
the internet would have murdered them.
Or press, they get in trouble.
Yep.
Let me share you a story. There was something from Nintendo, several games that Nintendo got leaked that was due to either press and a content creator. And what did Nintendo do? They punished everybody lower than them because they said they didn't want that to happen again. But the people who did the deed, they did nothing.
Yeah.
And they're thriving. That is not the case. I really wish people would understand that that is not the case. But again, there are a lot of great content creators that do a good job and they follow everything to the T. There are a lot of people in the journalism space that do the same thing. At the same time, there are also bad actors in both. But we do not get the same access as everybody. Please stop saying that. Please stop saying that. That is not the case. If you come back and say that's the case, I got to list at least 50 people that'll tell you otherwise.
I got a real-time an event that happened recently, IGN Live. IGN Live didn't even have a media room. They had a content creator room. Media did not have a room. It was they had a room for TikTok. I think it was TikTok specific, but yeah, it was for content creators. And they had a special line they had to go into. Yeah. And it was weird because you would think out of all places that a media room would have existed. It would have been at IGN Live.
IGN is a literal press outlet. You think they'd care more about press outlets.
But you get what I'm like, just to further lead into what this topic is about. And that happened, that was what, a few months ago? What was that, March? Or am I tripping?
That was in June. Yeah.
June. Yeah. But and then when it comes to, look at what just happened with Star Wars Outlaws. Mm-hmm. I've seen more content creators with early access than journalists.
Yes.
Yes.
I I mean, I'm part of the, I'm a complain right now, but I'm part of the press, official press list for Ubisoft. I didn't get approved for Prince of Persia. I didn't get approved for Star Wars Outlaws, but I'm on the official, like I'm logging in to the official press.
Yeah.
Like I'm not asking some random PR guy. I'm literally using the link provided to me and reviewed and approved by the said company. But then here it is. Thanks, Ubisoft. Like, and I'm like, okay. So once again, that's my frustrations personally, but that further goes back to what we talked about or what that tweet was about. No, it's not even close to the same.
It really
and let me go back before you go any further. I want to say this to people. Again, not naming names. It's just this is real talk, and this is a lot of frustration coming out. As Baron mentioned, there are a lot of people that get access to something and they go, "Hey, thanks company for giving me access to this game,"
and that's it.
And okay, now content creators may or may not have to do content on their game. There are a lot of content creators I've seen that get access to a title and do nothing.
A video, you'll get a tweet. Yeah, you'll get a tweet, and that's it. Like, I'm playing this.
Or they might show themselves playing the game. A short video. When you are a game journalist and you get access to a game for review, you have to do that review. You have to do the review.
They'll hit you up.
Do the review or show some gameplay or talk about the game. Because if you don't,
you're blacklisted.
You get blacklisted.
Legitimately.
Do enough times and you screw yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's literally it. My hat's crooked. That is literally it. And I don't understand why people keep thinking that press have it easier, because that's not the case. Higher press, fantastic. Yes. Yeah, sure. They do. But, and for the person that are saying that's why game journalists are going away. No. Do you know why game journalism is going away? Here, let me explain what exactly is happening with game journalism. More and more corporations are getting involved in game journalism, and they buy out companies, and they treat those companies and or employees like crap. And eventually either the employees leave or the company goes, you guys aren't towing the company line, or we're not getting enough money from you, and they let them go. Case in point, look what happened to Game Informer. Fantastic people. Fantastic job. Great game journalism. Gone.
Overnight.
Gone.
30 years.
They were doing their job. Gone. That's what's happening. Companies buy these sites and they go, we don't need you. And they get rid of them.
Nice little write-off.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens. And then some sites, the people leave and they fill them up with people that write nothing but garbage. Content farms.
Yeah.
That's it.
Either content farms or just engagement bait. That's all they turn into once they get big corporations involved.
Don't sit here and tell me that game journalism is dying because people suck at it. No, it's dying because the wrong people are getting involved and are getting rid of it. We're seeing so many different outlets lose people because the C-suites don't care enough about them and they decide to cut them, but they'll make their money and it's fine. Content creators, for the most part, are on their own. And depending on their size, they get access to stuff or go to events that most press will even dream about going to. So please stop it. I would have a rational conversation with anybody who disagrees. And I mean, when you talk about standards, we have to hold ourselves to a higher standard, because if we don't, we screw ourselves.
Yep. I mean, even look at the old union, or not union, that's not the word, but the old agreement that you cover, you get a code. That doesn't exist anymore.
That doesn't exist.
No.
I mean, to a point to where there's been games that I covered for over 6 months. I mean, podcast, thumbnail of the podcast, written articles, breakdowns of mechanics that I've seen in trailers and talking to PR people directly from said company and the ones who are going to be issuing, back and forth, multiple emails to then only get the code 13 hours before release. Not embargo, release.
Yeah.
So that means so the old guard, the old ways of, hey, you've shown a lot of interest and we appreciate it. And thank you for all this coverage. I mean, when we type in the name of our game, SEO pumps up 3 or 4 of your pieces. That doesn't even guarantee you a code anymore. Like it's a different age out here. To like going back to my point, and much love to Ubisoft because I have gotten games before, but it's weird. The sometiminess is so strange. I would honestly, I wish, and not even so much with just Ubisoft, but just in general, don't add me to your press list if you have no intentions. Like if you just know that me and mine, as in Level 1 Gaming, don't qualify for what you're looking for. If we don't hit those metrics you're looking for, don't accept me as press then. Like, because that just, I'd rather not. Like, let's not do this to each other. Because you're not paying me to cover your piece. You're not paying me to cover your news. The payment used to be, here's early access to this game.
Here's the game.
That you can cover it. Yeah, like that used to be the agreement. And it's not there anymore.
Speaking about early access, the people assume that most press get games early. That's not always true.
I wish.
Day of or day after.
Sometimes we get it a couple weeks ahead of time, and when we do, they're amazing. When Bandai Namco sent me access to Elden Ring and Shadow of the Erdtree 2 weeks early. Well, first one,
which that's rare.
First one was that's rare. The first Shadow of the Erdtree was 2 weeks. Elden Ring was like a month, and that is
so rare. I wish people understood how.
If I ever get month embargoes, it feels amazing because then I know I don't have to basically speed run things.
Yeah, it doesn't always happen. And for people like us, because we can only talk about us and the people we know that are just like us, we're talking about everybody who is in gaming journalism, who is an independent gaming journalist.
Yeah.
Okay.
The people who have 9 to 5s usually
9 to 5s, kids, husbands, wives. Stuff outside of doing this and you can't say that we don't have a standard because we're doing this stuff because we love it.
It's a passion. It has to be a passion. As much money as I'm pumping into this, it has to be for
going to events.
Like, it can't be
stuff. Hotels, planes, trains, cars. We're not getting paid for this crap.
No,
because we love it. And then for some random person to come out there and basically disrespect us and say that we're nothing, or we get early access to stuff, or we don't have a standard. I mean, come on, man. Yes, sometimes we do. Sometimes we do. But there's a lot of times that we simply don't. But we keep doing it because we like what we do. And it's frustrating. I saw that and I was like, you know what? No. I am not letting somebody say that. No.
Release the Kraken.
No, that's not happening. It's not even cool. It's here. You know when I got access to Black Myth Wukong, guys?
The day after.
No, 2 days after the game came out.
That was 2 days after
PlayStation.
Wait, you got a code?
Yeah, they sent it to us 2 days ago.
Oh wow.
I was like,
oh my God. No, once again, folks, the things you're hearing right now are beyond the norm. Like these month access, 2 week access. If you're not a big content creator and you are top tier journalist, you are not getting 2 weeks with a game.
The last couple of posts that we got were like
3 days,
3-4 days ahead. Now there are
I'm happy with a week. If you give me 5 days, I'm hype.
There are certain companies, certain PR companies that I have nothing but utmost respect. And I've talked to them and they work with us and they do their best to give us stuff. I'm not going to say who they are because they probably don't want to talk about that. But there are some PR people out there that understand the grind. They understand what people are going through. So they try to work with them. But we have talked to them and they have mentioned that, numbers are big. Content creators usually are the preference just because of what they are.
Yeah.
So I'm not understanding why people are saying that press get access to stuff easier than content creators. Now, if you're a content creator, and I'm not being disrespectful, they have like 4, 5, 6 people, and you're very inconsistent, and you have nothing to show for. Come on, I mean, nobody's going to throw you anything. I hate to say this because I hate this, but you got to show some consistency on that.
Yep.
Nothing is what's the word for? don't take this for granted because nothing is guaranteed. You got to work for it. But when you start working for it and you put in the hustle and things still aren't happening,
and it's crazy, right? Because once again, I need folks to understand we're not begging for anything. We don't think we're owed anything. I'm literally doing what is requested, and it's always been this unwritten rule that
I have no problems if
mass coverage.
If you're asking me to cover something and I'm like, all right, can I get a code so I can work on this more?
And then all of a sudden we don't.
Why? Tell me no. Tell me yes. And if you tell me no, I go out and buy a code for my team. Fine, that's fine. I don't care.
Yes, that happens, but at least give me a response.
That is the best part, is when they respond to you and tell you no.
Can I get a no? I'm so grateful for no's because now I don't have to keep checking my email.
Right, and I know what to do. Now I know. Okay,
I know. Oh, say less.
Yeah, give me the expectation, which... Yeah. I mean, I find it as this is a common thing where if you are someone who's given a no, it's generally not a verbal no as much of it's you're just now added to the red list. As in the sense of you read the response and do nothing else.
But again, this is not to complain or gripe or moan. It's
just honesty.
This is a response to something that people thought was the case. And at least from our experience, from the experience of other people that we've talked to, that's not the case. You know how many people we talk to at Summer Game Fest that are echoing what we've said?
Man, dude, you know how many situations at Summer Games Fest didn't... Okay, how is it that we all got the same status of pass? There is no tiers to the passes.
No.
Summer Games Fest play days it's all or nothing. But yet there was things that existed within Summer Games Fest play days that if you didn't get an email,
you gotta know the people.
Yeah, how crazy is that? Like to see a VIP section in an already VIP section event.
Yeah.
That was the weirdest thing. It was very weird to see, and that's how a lot of this is, folks. Like, for those listening, a lot of this is VIP within VIP.
Yeah, there were games there I didn't know were even there. It was like hidden behind a wall behind another wall.
Literally, and not even a figurative wall, a literal wall.
Here we go. Here's a perfect example for you guys. Again, like they're saying, Summer Game Fest, Astrobot was there. But we were all there.
Wait, what?
To attend the event. Was there and was Lego Horizons.
No access to it.
Yeah.
No access to it. So don't tell me that we get an easier time getting access to games and events because we don't.
And we're literally a nose away from these things.
Yeah.
Literal, folks, a literal nose. I didn't even get to see all the stuff where Sega was past the that open play area, or not open play, but where that big room. I didn't even see those tents. I looked on my map when I got home and I was like, wait, those things were there? Like a whole 4 major, it was insane. But yet I was there. It was insane. I got to play Stalker 2 only because somebody missed their appointment and I walked up and smooth talked with the rep.
Yeah,
which Stalker 2 is amazing, folks. Please look forward to that.
It is.
It's amazing. It is
monkey magic.
It is a prettier version of Call of Pripyat, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. And there's no embargo because I didn't sign anything because I wasn't even supposed to play.
But that was it. That's literally it. I just wanted to get something out. This is something I've always wanted to talk about because I talked about a couple of other people. They were like, don't release it because we don't want backlash. But this is just honesty,
Yeah.
If you want to talk, I'm here. You can come talk to me, and I'll just talk to you about how it works, how we've been dealing with this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it feels bad when you approach a company and they tell you got to have X amount of views, and then they work with this random content creator who's got nothing.
Yeah, no substance, no build around the type of games.
Yeah, there's
Like,
even
if I
differences on like press sites now where they will interact with either your Twitch channel or your press channel, and that will basically be what metric they use. And I
yeah,
think a lot of the time the YouTube probably supersedes it.
yep. But what's so insane is we're starting to see the fall of those things, of those metric based sites, because who can reach those numbers consistently?
Nobody.
What if this quarter my concurrent viewers is off the charts, but then I have a dead period, and now all of a sudden the games that you would approve me for, you don't approve me for now? Insane.
Welcome to Keymailer. No,
Let me
No,
throw a Let me throw a wrench where my mind is at into that. Google has been messing with SEO for the last 2 years. Last year, they screwed up everybody's SEO. And if you're not on the upper echelon, you got knocked down. Pegs. People have lost 50%, 6%, 9%. A lot of their traffic. We've got hit big time. We are not seeing the same traffic we used to. So our numbers are lower. So now we got to wonder if people are going to keep working with us, because not because of our work, not because of our ethic, not because we do fantastic job, but because Google decided to go, oh, we're going to mess with the SEO. We don't care. It's not affecting us. So no, it's not the same, guys. We don't get things easier, and maybe some content creators don't get things easier. There are a lot of variables. It's not clear cut. Please stop saying that.
I just know it's sad that if I had a home design YouTube channel with 10 million subs, I'd be able to get any game I asked for. Like, without question. Like, I would be able to go to any key site, any press site, and get any game based on that. Nobody in my field, and nobody I'm making videos for would buy it, but they would give me the red carpet treatment. Might even bring me to a press event. Like that, but this is what we're competing against.
And it's not because we're dying. It's because we're facing a much harder hill to climb than content creators are.
Yep.
And some content creators are in the same boat. So that's why I said it's not clear cut. That's it. But I really wish people who aren't even involved in either side stop talking out their ass.
Yeah.
Literally.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
I know there's a lot of people who just hate gaming journalists in general because it's the popular thing to do. But unless you actually know what's happening, stop it. Just stop. It's not cool to hate somebody who's doing something that they love, and you're going, oh, they suck because all gaming journalists suck. Whatever. That's your
and then get mad at you for acknowledging the fun factor. Like, games aren't meant to be entertainment. Like that's always the craziest thing to me. Oh, well, this and that and the other. Well, was it fun? Yeah, I had fun. Yeah, it had some issues. That's why I gave it a 7. It was fun to play. Wait until there's a new patch.
We're not going to get into that.
No, I know. That's
a whole other podcast.
I know, but I'm just the fun factor, guys. We're here to play games.
It matters.
It's fun.
That is it.
That is a huge part of it.
Hey, we can get games while we're reviewing the games and having fun and telling you honest stuff. I mean, I can't help it that there are some people that are just not honest, don't do a good job of breaking things down and explaining stuff to people. But that's on both sides. You got content creators that take pictures of people in the bathroom and do things and talk out their butt.
And then get a statue put in a game in a level.
You lie constantly about certain things and people love them. Sure, whatever. Anyway, sure gonna get people upset about that. Here's a question I wanted to toss in there because it's an interesting question. I do wish more people were here, but are you a PC or console gamer? And why?
I can't choose both. No.
No.
Darn it.
Pop out.
Okay. If I went off of my last 2 weeks, I am a PC player. Because I I think I turned on my PlayStation once, and Lord no, and then last time I turned on my Xbox was to watch Crunchyroll as I rode my bike. So I am a PC player. I've been playing Mountain Blade Bannerlord. I'm thinking in the last 2 weeks. And all these games are through Steam. So Mountain Blade Bannerlord, Mafia 3, and then even the Outer Worlds I played through Game Pass streaming and Game Pass PC. Hell, even when I shout out to Just Crow Things, I played that through PC Game Pass through means that I don't know if I broke terms of service, but yeah, like I hope I didn't like ruin my account forever. But there's a chance I did. It was definitely a Chrome add-on that made that a Chrome plugin that made that work. But yeah, so I'm a PC player, but I have all the consoles.
Scott.
Alrighty. So if we're going based off of, I guess, everything, I'd probably say I'm mostly a PC player. But I think I do want to add an addendum that I don't think I would be as much of a PC player if it wasn't for the ROG Ally and the Steam Deck. A lot of the reason why I play PC games more frequently now is because I have access to it without having to go to my actual PC to play the games anymore.
Talking my language.
But that's also because I'm a guy who works on PC my entire career, and I hate having to, you have to basically be in the same place for like 8 hours a day. So I like
for fun and work.
Yeah, exactly. I like going over to like my actual room to actually play games and then going to the computer room to work. And that's so the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally have been like the greatest things for me to play all the games that I have on my PC, because I've always had a giant library on Steam and on probably GOG actually more than Epic Games. Most of Epic Games are just free games that I get on there. But yeah, so I have a huge library of Steam games that I like to play, and I wouldn't play them nearly as often as I would if it wasn't for the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally.
All right, so I guess it's just me now. So even though I own all the consoles and have owned consoles throughout my gaming history, I've been a PC gamer ever since. God, my dad brought home this IBM clone PC when I was like 8 or 9, and I proceeded to take it apart. So that started my journey into PC gaming because I put it back together eventually, and then playing games on it and go, wow, this is actually pretty cool. And it just went from there. Commodore 64s and better IBM machines, playing Doom, run the silo to get a co-processor to put in your motherboard so you can play Doom, because the one you bought or the one that came in your machine didn't have a co-processor. Back then, that was a thing.
Yeah.
So I've always been a PC gamer. And not because it's PC master race, because I hate that saying, first of all.
Yeah.
But because of all the things that it affords you. Better, depending on the game, a better experience, better frame rates, better resolution. Now we're in the 4Ks and just seeing all the stuff that these machines can do. Being able to use whatever controller I want with my machine.
Cost of games.
The cost of games are cheap as can be. We had a conversation with a guy the other day, just showing him that, hey, you can get these games really freaking cheap.
I don't want to spend $60. Well, if you do it off this site, you only have to spend $27.
I mean, it really depends on where you get the games from. And unlike others, I have an office. Oh, where's that guy in Thor Ragnarok? My stuff. Where I work, or did work, but will work again. And I also have it set up where I also game in here. So I have a nice little TV set up over here, or I have another computer where I play games on that. I can just sit on my couch, turn my computer on, and it goes, hey, here's all your games, play. So that whole stigma of you have to be at a desk to play PC games. But I also love the fact that, modding is amazing in games.
Yes.
There's just so many things you can do in a PC game because you can just mod the hell out of it. Cyberpunk, people have been making so many mods for Cyberpunk, The Witcher, Dark Souls, all the Dark Souls. It's just
Adding Sprint to New Vegas.
even made Elden Ring's co-op better. With the seamless co-op system. These modders constantly go back and do things that the developers didn't do or didn't think about, and it's just
carried Bethesda.
Sometimes I just want to play as Link in Dragon Age Origins, so I do.
I like to play certain characters in certain games. Like I was playing Sekiro as 2B.
There you go.
Nerd.
I'd rather look at 2B's ass than look at the wolf ass any day.
That's fair.
So it's just, I just love everything that the PC can do for me. I'm not saying that the PC is the best place to play games, but for me, as somebody who's watched PC gaming mature over the years, like Steam came in, we had to put the games in and hope they installed. And if they didn't install, you're screwed because the disc.
Hope you don't lose disc 2.
Right?
Where the hell is Diablo 2?
Where's
my war chest?
Because you always had the install disc and the play disc. And sometimes you'd forget where one of those discs are, and it made something problematic, especially if you had to do like some kind of update or if something was wrong or corrupted. Yeah. You had to reinsert disc 1 to make sure that spot in the story was put back.
Better online gaming. We don't have to pay to play online.
Yeah, you don't have an annual subscription to make sure you can play with your friends.
I mean, there was that dark time with Windows for gaming, which everybody was like, "No, screw you, Microsoft, we're not doing this." And
I never
realized,
paid money for that.
I
never paid money when AOL tried to do that for AIM for some stupid reason.
So, yeah, it's just all the things that we can do with PC gaming. It's just. It's in my DNA. It's just what I like.
PC cafes are fun. I used to go to those.
And then you see the evolution with the Steam Decks and the ROG Ally. So now I can. It's just
handheld experience. Let's go.
You be in your office, you're like, I wish I could go outside and just sit outside on the step and play this game. And
you can.
Now you can. What? Yep. Outside. Get out your office. Go sit in the deck. Go chill. Take it with you in a train, in a plane, in a car, in a boat, wherever.
Fame's gonna get a ROG Ally now. He was like, "Wait, you're playing these games native?" I was like, "Bro, I put it on offline mode on purpose."
It's great. It's great. That's why I really like it. I mean, it's gotten to the point where even my son is like, "Here's your Xbox," and he's like, "I don't want it anymore." But this laptop, Dad, thank you. Ultra widescreen gaming. Come on, you have not lived unless you've done that.
I haven't tried that. I'm still...
You have not lived unless you played a game in ultra wide. Consoles, you're stuck at 1080p.
I'm a duct tape my monitors together.
I mean, there's mods where you could actually do
monitor
that,
setups, triple monitor setups,
both of your monitors.
We're gonna wrap this bad boy.
I mean, yeah, I'll just stop. But yeah, for the ignorant people out there going PC gaming sucks, you have no idea, and that's fine. Maybe you don't like it. Maybe you're afraid of it. Maybe you're ignorant of it.
Maybe you're just indecisive and you don't want to have to think about decisions you have to make.
Maybe somebody lied to you and told you it costs thousands of dollars to get a PC set up. No, that's not true.
You can get a pretty decently one now for not even $1,000 now.
Not the cost of a PlayStation, you can get a decent PC.
Yeah,
you can get a motherboard that has a built-in GPU, and it's not bad. Or you can buy a ROG Ally and play off that, and put Basslight on it. Anyway, yeah, I think we're done with this show. Thank you, folks. Thanks for rocking with me today. And before we get out of here, Baron, tell everybody where they can find you at, sir.
Yes, so LV1Gaming.com LV1 Gaming, or youtube.com/LV1 Gaming 20. That's where you can find our weekly podcast on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, the LV1 Gaming Podcast. And then, of course, we have a bunch of other video content. You can find Level 1 Gaming on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and then wherever I want you to find me, you just type in Baron J67, and if I pop up, I wanted you to find me.
See, he's showing off because we're not on TikTok or anything like that. I mean, geez. But you can find us on Twitter at the Outerhaven. Find us on YouTube at the Outerhaven. Find us at the outerhaven.net. We got this amazing website that works like it's supposed to now after staying up for hours on end. My tinnitus is telling me I should probably go to bed, but whatever. You also can find us on Buzzsprout, YouTube Music, Amazon Podcasts. Please rate us on there, Spotify, and where else you find great gaming podcasts. And you can find two of us at PAX West next week. This week.
Oh yeah, you'll see Level 1 at PAX West as well. Yeah, I'll be there.
God. Three more. What is it? Today's the 25th, 25. Today doesn't got him right.
Yeah, so the 29th. So we got 4 or 5 days.
4 more days. God.
Oh man, I'll be there Wednesday. So if you guys are there early, just hit me up.
Nah, I'm not going Thursday night.
I'll be there Thursday, taking an early flight.
I couldn't find no early flights Thursday. That's the only reason. I'm going Wednesday. It would have been Thursday night for me. There was just no flights.
No, I'm just taking a train.
Nice.
All right, folks, we are wrapping this up. Thank you for watching, and we might have a podcast at PAX. We're not sure. We're still formulating that. We'll have to wait and see because mics and noise and all that cool stuff. We'll find out. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.